And every time he moves his hand out like this, these 3 nuns come magically floating in. And he flashes it this way, and 3 nuns come from this way.
My favorite part was how they were like, oh.
Yeah. Oh. Because he splashed the potion. It's like, so they form a nun tower.
Yeah.
They really did. They literally form a nun tower.
The nun tower.
There's like 5 nuns, 4 nuns, 3 nuns, and then the really attractive, cute nun climbs the tower, and of course he bites her, and then he throws his head back, and she throws her head back, and his face is covered with blood.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back. We're back for another episode of the Mamalukes podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Luke.
I'm Alysha.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Virginia.
And today we are talking about Dracula, A Love Tale, a new movie that has debuted today. Some online escape rooms, the new The Rip Netflix movie debut, and some Adobe product stuff going on. But first, well, if you didn't notice, a couple of us are wearing some Mamalukes apparel. You can see, well, Virginia and Matt don't have them on yet, but for the longest time, we have had a store that is available on our website, mamalukes.net. Specifically, though, you can go to store.mamalukes.net and check out the stuff we got on there. You saw their t-shirts. I think we have black, navy, and they have this maroon color of our t-shirts. We have zip-up hoodies. We got pullover hoodies. We got crop tops. We got snapback hats. We got something else that I can't remember right now. No, the polo didn't make it. I think your polo, well,
is an exclusive.
It might be an exclusive based on your experience.
Right. Based on your nipples.
I'll bring it next time, and we'll see if it shows through when it gets cold down there.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, unless you just happen to get the one bad one or something. I don't know. We'll maybe look at that again. But yeah, if you want to support us, go check out our store. Again, that's store.mamalukes.net. Really appreciate anybody that wants to support us or, just wear some comfortable shirts, hoodies, that type of thing. Like, that's the thing with this stuff. It's not just crappy shirts and hoodies that you can get anywhere. They're actually comfortable. They actually seem to be of high quality. If you like hoodies, it's who does the hoodie manufacturer?
Independent. What
do they call it?
Trading company.
Yeah, that's what it is. I like their stuff. I think they're pretty good. T-shirts, I think, are Bella and Canvas.
Yeah.
They're super smooth, super soft. Go check it out. Also, we have some clarifications from a previous trivia question.
Yes. A while back, I had asked, what is the longest Monopoly game ever played? And when they heard it was 70 days, they got a little upset. What? Consecutively? So Matt did some research. I looked it up as well. It was technically consecutive time. But what they did is they switched on and off people. So it was in shifts. So technically they didn't break any of the Monopoly rules because it was a constant.
So it was
play.
Teams, basically.
Yeah. That's what you got out of it, right?
Okay.
And you had added something else.
Yeah, so because the game went on so long, they actually had to get multiple Monopoly games. And then Hasbro found out it was going on and actually sent them money for the bank because the game had gone on so long and they had so much money involved in the gameplay.
Wow. I guess that's interesting if the company themselves gets involved.
It's a pretty, everywhere I looked, that's pretty much what it said.
That's the official
longest game.
Wow. Okay. Okay. I mean,
to be fair, I did not know that when I asked the question.
To be fair.
But now you know.
Okay. Well, so other things, Virginia. You finally finished Stranger
I watched
Things.
all of Stranger Things all the way to season 5.
And
I did enjoy it. I think that season 5 is definitely my least favorite.
now, is it because of season 5 as a whole, or is it because of the ending?
It wasn't just because of the ending.
Okay.
It was because I think that like, especially 11, I don't feel like she acted the same in the previous seasons. I just think it was like a weird, I don't know how to describe it, but I don't know. It was just like maybe it's because she was just in a different role, because it was like, I'm going to get physically fit and conquer this whole thing or whatever. I don't know. It just seemed like her whole focus was very different. And I don't know. And I got what you guys said about like the different ages. I did think that it wasn't probably for me as like alarming as it sounded like it was for you guys. But I definitely think that some of the acting was a little bit off. And yeah, it just wasn't my favorite, I think.
So I had talked to somebody at my workplace who had watched Stranger Things all the way up through season 4. They haven't watched season 5 yet. And he was like, just, tell me, what's your general reaction to season 5? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it like the weird kind of not great ending that like Game of Thrones was? So that's what I was going to be curious to ask you guys. If you watched Game of Thrones, in regards to the ending of season 5 of Stranger Things, would you consider it better or worse compared to Game of Thrones? Sort of like super fast, accelerated sprint to the ending, or do you think it was okay in comparison?
Well, it might take me a little while to answer that because I haven't watched Game of Thrones.
Okay, well, we gave you enough grief about Stranger Things, so we won't do that again. But I thought it was better than Game of Thrones ending. I'll just say that much. I don't think
The whole season or just the very ending?
I think. So how many seasons was Game of Thrones?
7.
7. So 7 as a season, I think, was like way too quick in comparison to the rest of the series, where it was just like, oh, Daenerys is here. And now she's in this completely other new territory, which would normally take like 2 or 3 episodes for her to get there. And now she's just like there at the beginning of the episode, and now she's here in the middle of the episode.
Is that the complaint for Stranger Things, that it was too quick?
No.
No,
We're talking
no.
about Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, like, it had a pace throughout the whole first 6 seasons, most people would say. And then
They rushed the ending.
Right. Season 7 is just like, all right, we got to get to the ending. And it was just like, go, go, go with like the episodes that were in the whole season. So
That's weird. I never thought about that. I feel like there was just so much hype and so much buildup leading up to season 7. Like they had to do something. Like,
right.
I don't feel like it was out of character other than the last 2 episodes. Like the rest of it was pretty much on pace, getting to Winterfell, going to the wall. That was like the first 4 episodes, and I felt like that was fine.
Right.
The last 2, I mean, other than garbage writing, but I mean, I don't know. I felt like they're on par. I did not like the ending of Stranger Things at all. I mean, have you seen the meme where they show like the scene from Superman where Kevin Costner's sitting there to the side and he tells Superman not to come out from underneath the tunnel, and they're referencing 11 at the end where she's telling him not to come in. It's the same kind of bullshit. It was like, that was like a huge complaint about that movie. You know what I mean? And like it fit perfect. Like somebody tied those 2 things together. But I mean, I didn't enjoy season 5 at all.
Okay.
The forced narrative, that they were throwing in there and stuff like that. And like there was a lot of things that were unnecessary. The Upside Down was totally different. You know,
The
even
Abyss or the Upside Down?
the Upside Down.
Oh,
Even
okay.
that was totally different with the hospital and the magic ball that was in there and stuff, you know, and the melting room and stuff that had
Right.
nothing to do with the end of it. The Demogorgons were barely in it after, you know, when it came back at the very end.
Yeah. All,
You know,
all the memes about that were like
all the vine
they
and
were
everything
all on
that was-
vacation.
all the vine that was growing through the town and everything like that spread all out meant nothing.
Right.
You know, it was just there
And
was
how
so-
had they never seen the wall before?
yeah. It's a good question.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's just a lot of things that I didn't like.
Why were they in a rush to end it?
Stranger Things?
Yeah, if they're making so
'Cause
much money
the
and
kids are
everybody
30
loves
years
it.
old.
Yeah.
I mean,
So?
that's a lot of what it was. It's just that, you know, everybody had aged out of it.
But
Like,
everybody could still go to college.
they didn't. Well, I mean, if they went to college, they left the town.
Who
you know,
said?
So.
I think the point
There
there
was no college
is
there. There wasn't even a high school there anymore. Like,
and I mean, not to say this is supposed to be an excuse. You could always just keep proceeding forward. The aesthetic was built for the series to be specifically within the 80s. And so, like, if you're getting too old, well, you're not in the 80s anymore. You're in the 90s. So make the series go into the 90s. Yes.
I mean, they took 10 years to get through 3 years.
right. Yeah.
Is what it came down to. And it just, you know, everybody had aged out of it. They weren't kids. It wasn't believable. Nobody was buying it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
just, so they had to do something. They had to end it. I mean, you know, and I'm not mad that they ended the show. I just don't like the way they did it.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that the complaint that most people have? Is they don't like the ending?
No, it didn't get like terrible reviews. I mean, there was a few people
They
out there
weren't,
that were,
yeah,
like,
they
you know,
weren't
it was probably 60-40.
terrible. They weren't spectacular either.
Yeah.
So,
But I think everybody had the same thing, like the same notion of it. It was just like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
it's time,
Yeah.
you know. But
Right.
just, I don't know. And you know, I'm not against anybody for anything and their beliefs or anything else, but just the whole I can only save the world if I tell everybody I'm gay thing was just like, come on, man. You know what I mean? You can make the characters whatever you want, but you don't have to do that with it. You know, it was just,
Right.
it was really unnecessary, and it was a whole episode.
I think it was.
It was a whole episode of the last season.
I feel like it was a really weird placement of when they like addressed it.
Yeah. And then the whole, and this really got torn up online, which was fantastic. But when the two girls were trying to leave his mind, and they were in that red room, you know, and their portals were opening, but
Oh,
they had
yeah.
a whole life discussion and everything like that. Like, she's been trapped in there for 2 fucking years or whatever it is, you know.
It's time to
and
go.
Her thing comes up to where she can escape, and she's like, no, I'm just going to sit here and have a 10-minute conversation. Then I'm going to walk, not run.
the memes I saw there were like, yeah, let's have a podcast.
Yeah, it was just like, it was bad, man. It was, I mean, and, you know, even Sadie Sink came out and, you know, she made a comment about it.
Right.
You know, she was like, you know, when everybody pointed it out and stuff like that, she was like, I realized, you know, maybe we should have progressed that a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
you know, it's just like, so I mean, it was just so over dramatic. It was an 8-minute scene. You know what I mean? It was just like, come on, run, like
Right.
get the hell out of there. You know what I mean? Like, you're not even in imminent danger. If you had 8 minutes to get out of there, you know what I mean? I guess you could have just walked and skipped your way out. You know, so. The first season 4, when she was coming out, you know, he was throwing things out of the sky at her and blocking her path
Right,
and all
right.
that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Time to get running up that hill.
Yeah. Well, that was great too, because they did make a reference to getting sick of the song,
Yeah.
you know, which I appreciated that, you know. The whole alternate ending theory,
Yeah.
you know, did you catch all that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and Alysha, actually, I think you sent this to me too, because you seen it also, where it was just all a Dungeons and Dragons game,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
you know, none of it actually was real.
I like that theory.
So, I mean, it's almost better than the actual thing. You know?
Well, they,
So-
they did it in such a way that it is kind of left up to interpretation. Like,
Yeah,
well,
I
maybe,
Well, I
maybe
think
this
that's-
is how it happened.
I think that's the whole point. So
But why did you do that?
I think they did it
End it.
because
Kill off 3 or 4 people, have it dramatic, and end the show.
Yeah, they
you
had
know what I mean? Like,
more than a couple moments where they could have killed somebody.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to save
Also,
them.
Yeah, the whole we're going to get married, but we're not going to get married scene.
Yeah,
Like,
I was just
God,
gonna
so
say that
necessary.
missed opportunity for K Jewelers and a Stranger Things ad for Christmas and engagement
Right.
of like some sort of
Because it was all at that,
line.
it was
Right.
all at that time
Right.
too. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they could have done that. But
missed opportunity.
there was a lot of missed opportunities. It was just, and the whole thing is like it wasn't rushed. This is what they came up with after 2.5 years. You know what I mean? It's like that. I don't know. I was
Well,
disappointed.
the documentary, it was like they were doing the planning for the season 5, and they were just like, "Yeah, we don't have an ending written yet. Like, should probably figure that out."
Wait another year. I mean, at that point, wait another year and do it right. You know what I mean? Everybody's old anyway.
Luke was watching the documentary and I wasn't really in it.
Go ahead.
I fell asleep. I woke up and he was crying. And I'm like, are you crying?
Oh, because
Everybody was crying.
yeah, I can't remember what part of the documentary it was. It was like
The
one of the
end.
scenes where like this is these characters' last scene in the series that they're done, and they're like all breaking down, which I get. If you're doing a series for 10 years and like, okay, this is
it.
That's how everybody in Game of Thrones felt when they read that, and
It was
they
just
all started
really-
crying too.
It was
No.
really funny
Yeah.
because I just wasn't into it and I didn't watch any of it. I slept and then I woke up and he was just crying. I'm like, are you okay?
I'm tired.
I'm empathetic.
I'm tired.
I don't know.
Just some sand in my eye.
Yeah.
Something strange in my eye.
There's some strange things going on.
A speck from the upside down made
I'm
it in
just
there.
like, was it that good?
That's what she said.
She did.
So now we have the aftermath of the series, which now they want to make the money instead of having a great ending. Tales of 85, which is going to be the new animated series.
Who's voicing it?
So I didn't look that up,
That's what I want to know.
but I don't think it doesn't. What I looked at real quick didn't sound like the original actors, which if they're starting from the beginning or if it's going to be a retelling from the beginning of the series, you're probably not going to have the original actors.
Is that what it is? Because I thought it was like supposed to fill in the gaps.
See, I don't know. From what I saw from the teaser, it almost looked like it was like readapting the series from just like a different take on telling basically the same story with just different events.
Right.
But I don't know. It's a teaser, so that could be totally wrong.
Yeah. Okay, so after it's all said and done, are you guys really interested to see more content of this?
No, probably not.
no, not the animation. I'll probably end up watching it. if
Maybe,
Luke does.
yeah, maybe I'll watch it when it comes out, and if I think it's good, then sure. But like,
I think
yeah,
that's how this
I'm
crap
not.
keeps getting put out because we're all like, yeah, I'll just watch it.
I'm not waiting in anticipation for it. No.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm saying. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, they're hyping it up and like, no. Like, now I'm mad at you anyway. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like Knights of the Seven Kingdom or Night of the Seven Kingdoms or whatever is out on HBO now. And I'm like, I might watch it once it's all out. I'm not
Right.
tuning in every week to watch any more stories from that saga. Like that world is gone. I'm done with that.
is it supposed to be another prequel to
Yes.
Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Okay.
Am I
Mhm.
crazy? Or there was just a shitload of Prince songs at the end of Stranger Things, right?
They had what?
Wasn't it a bunch of Prince songs?
I can't remember.
It doesn't stand out to me,
Yeah.
but I don't really know.
I swear.
I think When Doves Cry or something was on there, but
Yeah, I think there was like at least 2 Prince songs. I was like, what is happening?
I think it was Pussy Control and
And what else?
I don't know.
Doesn't
Just
matter.
talking
Purple Rain.
shit.
Yeah.
I think it was
I think those were the two.
Stranger Things
5.
and 5. We got When Doves Cry and Purple Rain.
Spot on there, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember because When Doves Cry was at the very end there, but
Pussy Control.
yeah. I just threw that one in because that's my favorite Prince song.
Of course it is. Ow.
These rare licensed tracks from the 1984 album Purple Rain are used to soundtrack high stakes emotional moments. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Whatever.
Season 5 was supposed to be set in 84.
No. These tracks are from 1984.
No, that's what I'm asking.
No, it's 88.
No, it's
Why the fuck are they using Prince to end?
because
Because it was in the 80s.
still in the 80s.
I mean, yeah, but
What I'm used
What
to
are-
Sting?
what are-
I mean,
what are-
what are you looking for? Like,
what are popular songs in 88? Let's see what alternate song endings.
Popular
Choices.
songs in 1988.
just took an interesting twist.
Sure
It
did.
sure did.
George Michael's?
George Michael's Faiths,
Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You
Never
Up.
Gonna Give You.
Oh, they could have
Copyright
Rick
strike.
rolled us.
I know. They should have.
Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine. Yep.
Don't worry, be happy.
Don't worry, be happy.
Michael
I
Jackson,
feel like
Man
there
in
was
the Mirror.
like
Man in
wasn't
the
there,
Mirror.
There was GNR in there, wasn't there?
I don't know.
Who?
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, Sweet Child of Mine.
That was in Stranger Things, right?
In Stranger Things. No, we're looking. Can't remember.
No.
Google it.
I don't.
It doesn't matter.
What was the song that Eddie did in season 4? That was
Wasn't that Metallica
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I think it
that
was
Ride the
Metallica.
Lightning or Kill 'Em All?
I think it was Ride the Lightning.
was Master of Puppets.
Master of Puppets.
Oh.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I totally haven't seen that since that was on 6 years ago either. So I was throwing darts.
Right.
Or that was actually season 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was season
season
Okay.
4, yeah.
Yeah, so that was like 3 years ago. What's your opinion? You didn't really say anything.
It was
Yeah.
fine.
It was
Well,
fine.
It was fine, yeah.
Okay, that's a good synopsis. Thank you. And yeah, here we go. But
Did you like season 5?
But yeah, it was fine.
Happy with the ending? Anything you would pick apart, change besides the song?
I really liked the first 3 seasons. Season 4 was okay. Season 5 was whatever, was ending. Let's wrap this up. But I had to rewatch all of it.
I mean, you could have did something else while I was watching it.
no, I think it's good that you did because I didn't, and it was just like,
Yeah.
So
But it's
maybe I
just-
would have been a little more
It's
attached
that
to
meme
the
when you're
story.
trying to show somebody your favorite show or a movie and then they fall asleep.
She's really offended by that.
All right, moving on from Stranger Things.
But as I recall, you sometimes fall asleep too and wake up to him crying.
Oh, yeah. Just that documentary.
You hadn't watched the documentary yet
I haven't seen it yet.
because
She
you
doesn't
slept through it.
No, it's because she doesn't want to cry.
Next.
Next, okay.
Look at that transition.
Stranger Things, you were good while you were good, and now you're done.
Okay.
Try to figure out how to make this transition work in post with that just now.
Not good
And
transition.
that's what I have to say about that.
Okay.
Thursday.
Thursday, last night, we went and saw a comedy show, Lara Beitz. And before you start looking that up, her last name is spelled B-E-I-T-Z,
And
not
it's
B-I-T-E-S.
Laura, not
Lara.
Laura.
Laura.
I was
Lara.
You said it right the first time.
Oh, did I? I
People
thought you were
are-
making fun of me again. Sorry.
No.
He's sensitive. Sensitive.
Sensitive.
That sand in your eye?
Lara Bites.
Lara Beitz.
Lara Beats.
Lara Beitz. We should preface with we won free tickets again to a comedy show.
We
I
love
get-
you, hilarities.
Yeah. Thanks
Keep those free tickets coming.
a lot. Don't watch this podcast so you can stop sending them because that would be sad. What'd you guys think of her last night? She was interesting.
I enjoyed it.
I wrote a little paragraph. Would you guys prefer popular headliners or comedians you've heard of less? Doesn't matter because I have my opinion.
Okay.
So we seen Lara Beitz. She was super wholesome, and just as awkward as everyone else. Her bit was about her being diagnosed with autism, which I think everybody is a little autistic. We could
Especially
admit
nowadays.
that. Yeah. Tylenol, everybody. She actually posted how she appreciated Cleveland and said she loved us.
Like some other comedians.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So I'm going to compare her to Jordan Jensen, who I thought I loved in theory online. I think all of us were excited to see her, right? We always share videos.
Yep.
Yeah.
She stepped back from stage behind the curtain, so Matt and I couldn't see her. So that was one thing that was pretty annoying the whole time.
Oh, I was super happy we paid to sit up front to not see
paid
her.
extra to not see her.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
And she seemed spacey and frazzled, which I think she was late, just like the Laura lady was last night. Just to compare the lateness and being frazzled to get on stage or whatever. She delivered a decent show, but posted her bit about hating Cleveland, even though it was a sold out show. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, she had 5 sold out shows.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then she posted how much she hated Cleveland.
And I don't think it was a joke either.
Oh no, she was shitty the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't seem like the happiest person in the world anyway, but she was definitely
fuck you, Cleveland.
Yeah, did not want to be here. I mean, the only person I've ever seen more hatred toward Cleveland was Adriana Lapalucci.
Yeah.
Because she was just like, fuck you guys.
She was like, I am never coming back here.
Their whole skit, she was like, fuck you guys. I'm never coming back. It don't matter. But yeah, no, I mean, I was excited to see Jordan Jensen.
I still
she did
enjoyed her
okay.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. Other than I think it was worse for Matt and I because we couldn't see her.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
We were just like,
that's super dumb.
yeah, that was ridiculous. But, and then she sat there and came out and, posted her clip about, the way people from Cleveland dress and, not liking people from Cleveland and this and that. And I'm like, you dress like you're poor. Like, what the fuck? It's like, she's always just wearing some raggedy blue jeans and a t-shirt. And it's like, what are you talking about? So she was just, I don't know. I was disappointed with her. I was disappointed with her show. I was disappointed with that's the clip that she posted from being at Hilarities. This person was a lot more positive, Lara Beitz, and she was a lot happier to be there.
She was so happy.
Yeah. She thanked everybody 4 or 5 times for coming to her show, and
she's like, it's so nice that people are here that actually wanted to be here and know who I am. And then I felt really terrible because
we had free tickets.
We got free tickets. And there literally an hour before we left, somebody was like, who are you going to see? And Matt's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, but hey, we went.
Then you guys got there and were like, oh yeah, she. And he's like, oh, it's a female.
Yeah, but when you said her name, we remembered seeing the little thing on the promo, so we knew who it was. And to be fair, she is not on Hilarities' calendar.
Really?
Yeah, so she wasn't even on Hilarities' little sheet that they hand out, with her.
Oh, yeah.
So it wasn't like we got
it was on their calendar online.
It wasn't like they were pumping her up or anything like that, so. But no, I mean, again, she really pushed the autism thing. Really pushed it. And it's just everybody is diagnosed now. And it's a little overwhelming too, because it's just everybody has some kind of mental disease and that's their shtick in comedy. The guy before was great. The opener, I didn't catch his name.
Ryan Dalton.
Yeah. He was good. I liked him.
He was funny.
He was very good. And he's from Cleveland.
Originally, yeah.
Originally.
He didn't have any kids, but he would have been the cool dad that everybody wanted to hang out with, I think.
Right.
And then she was good. She had her moments. Her rhythm was way off, and I don't know if she said she was frazzled because she had a rough trip trying to get to Cleveland, and she was late, and she had literally just got off. She was curling her hair in the airport on the way to the comedy show. So, I mean, kudos to her, for being able to get up there and do that. But the timing was a little off, and it seemed like a very long show. Her 40-minute set seemed like an hour and a half. That was my only complaint.
Was it only 40 minutes, really?
Yeah.
Did you time it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Wow. Yeah, it definitely seemed
that's what
longer
I'm
than
saying.
40 minutes.
Yeah, it seemed like it was way
wow.
longer than 40 minutes, but it was a 40-minute
Well, I
set.
said that
so.
on the ride home. I said this seemed like the longest evening we've had.
Yeah. And,
We go frequently, so
Yeah.
but no, I mean, I'm glad we went. It was nice to see somebody new. I do like seeing new people. Don't meet your heroes, I think is, like I told you yesterday, is the message for the other one. But sometimes it's nice like to go see. I think the atmosphere there is so much better than going to like an arena.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
oh yeah, definitely.
Even like Playhouse Square or the Akron Civic Theater, those are smaller venues, but still even that is a little. Goodyear's not bad. The Goodyear Theater,
Yeah.
that's not bad to go see a comedian.
Yeah, I agree. But
But
Hilarities
yeah,
is very personable.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's a
It's a
good
nice
comedy
setting.
club, and like you can get
It's a club.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like TJ Miller, like who I think is huge. I think he's a big name person, but and Dave Attell, they perform there, so
Yeah.
it's really cool going to see those people there as well.
Oh yeah, you can't say don't meet your heroes to me. TJ Miller called me beautiful.
Well, he's your hero now, so
Right. Yeah.
The hero I didn't know I needed.
yeah.
It is really interesting because I feel like Hilarities for however they have the setup, because even when I have sat farther away, it still feels like you're up close to them.
Yeah.
To
Like,
some extent.
we saw
so-
Zoltan Cassis and we were in the balcony, and I still enjoyed that show a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's Lara Beitz.
Next.
I think, the moral of the story there is if you're a comedian, don't take your watchers and fans for granted. And if you're Jordan Jensen, well, if you're going to come back for another show in Cleveland, we're probably not going to have another 14 inches for you. So that's all I got to say about that. No, nothing. All right.
Crickets, please.
Oh, okay, fine.
I laughed.
That's not it. I don't know where my crickets are. Oh, there they
They're
are.
dead, remember?
They're still falling on
Really worn
Right.
out.
by Chipotle delivery
speaking
guy.
of that 14 inches, are you gonna pull up those weather maps?
You found another one?
Yeah, it just pops up.
Yeah.
Trampolines.
Yeah, it
That's
does.
what she said.
It's trampolines and weather maps that look like penises is all that pop up for me.
All right. Hold on. Don't.
You had to Google that. I don't believe you.
That is on Facebook. I'll send it to you right now.
No, I don't need it. I don't need you messing with my algorithm.
No, click on it now.
Hold on. I got to do some color correction.
It was right when we were sitting on the
Some
couch.
color correction.
So it doesn't show up too bright in
Make
the
it
video.
black. Make it black.
Oh, I thought you were really changing up the color there.
Ah.
No, it's not real if it's white. It's
I
not
need to
that
know
big.
if the author of the other map was the author of this map.
The author of the map?
I don't know. Creator of the map.
Author. He really wrote about it.
What you got above you there, Alysha? What's going on there?
You gotta tilt your head. to
Oh,
the
that's
left.
just Sunday's forecast? How about that?
Does it say anything else? Possible 1 inch of snow. That looks
Possible 1 inch, but
Yeah, you better duck, Alysha.
it looks,
looks like
miles
more- Whoa.
long.
looks like more than 1 inch.
Coming at ya.
It's
And exactly what
many-
are they pointing to?
How many mini hands can
There-
we get on that,
it's-
Virginia?
I don't know what they're pointing to, but it is pointing to Virginia. The state of Virginia, just to clarify.
Oh, I meant the arrow.
He meant the tip.
I meant something else.
Looks to me like it's pointing to Alysha.
Or,
I sent that
pointing
to you, Virginia.
Alysha.
Oh, I thank you.
It's hitting me hard.
Yikes.
Actually, Virginia is getting hit hard with snow right now.
That's what I was saying.
It's valid. So Virginia's getting pounded.
Oh, boy.
Sounds like it.
Later tonight.
No, not tonight.
Currently.
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
Sunday.
And if you look in the top corner,
Sunday
I'm
morning
going to zoom in on
pounding.
this.
Uh-oh.
As long as I can
Whoa.
control the camera
The 10
correctly.
a.m. thing?
No, what's it say right in the blue
Wait, can you go down
border?
a little lower?
Upper level.
Sneaky Sunday snow.
Can you go down?
Sneaky.
Can you go down a little?
Oh, sneaky. Yikes.
Sneaky Sunday morning. Better watch out when you wake up. Like,
Get ready, Virginia.
who
Yikes.
makes these maps?
You're getting a full inch.
Not a regular one, a full inch.
Oh, that was another thing about Cleveland being famous. All the comedians asking what Cleveland's famous for, and people keep saying pierogies. Where
Yeah.
they said like po'
I do not
boys,
understand
subs.
that at
The
all.
pierogies? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's totally, that's valid.
Pierogies.
We have the pierogi lady. who's
So
Well,
like,
this
Please.
is true, but I didn't think that was our thing.
yeah.
Please comment if you know what Cleveland is famous for.
Because
What
we don't
food
know.
they're
Because
famous
What
for.
I
food
would
Cleveland
say-
is famous
I
for?
would
Not
say
weather
little-
maps or anything else. We're talking about food.
I would say Little Italy and Italian food, but that's just me.
I don't think that's Cleveland.
It's known for the Guardian
What?
statues on the one bridge by Progressive Field. That's why they named the team that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows about that.
The Guardians?
Yeah.
I know about the bridge.
Because the Guardians named themselves the Guardians.
Yeah.
Would you have known about them before that?
The
'Cause-
bridge?
Yeah. Because I didn't.
Would you have
I knew
called
about
those
the
statues?
bridges, yes.
Would you have called those statues the Guardians?
I don't know.
No.
I just
that's
knew
the
about the
answer.
statues. Okay.
No, that's the answer.
Now the Browns, we have Paul Brown who owned the team. You know, everybody that's kind of on the money. So Cleveland's not very creative.
Yeah.
Bunch of Gen Zs, right?
Next.
Okay. How about we get to some actual main topics?
All right.
Because, yeah, we have those, right?
So Monday.
So, Monday? Oh, Monday. Yes. Monday. We went to go see a mystery movie.
Everybody went this time.
Everybody, all four of us.
We liked
right.
it.
And we saw the new Dracula, a Love Tale movie, which if you look it up, it might just be titled as just Dracula or just Dracula 2025, which is confusing because it comes out officially today.
It actually came out somewhere prior to this because there's reviews everywhere. So I don't know if it came out in like Europe or something prior.
Probably.
Oh, okay.
But there's tons of reviews online prior.
So it's
to
the U.S. release that
I
they-
guess.
I also thought of something, a missed opportunity for Tame Impala Dracula.
Yeah, but it's well, I don't know. Where are they from? Where's Tame Impala from? Because they're not from...
So everything when I look it up for details and things like that, when I was researching, it says Dracula, a love tale.
Dracula. It just says Dracula.
Okay.
2025.
We're living in the past. We're talking
I
about Stranger
know.
Things and Dracula from last year.
Right. Matt, you had the big synopsis, so I'll let you lead, but
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll jump in.
I'd love
I also
to
took notes.
go into these movies with an open mind and be disappointed.
Mystery movies.
I will say that going to this mystery movie, it was not an A24 movie, which surprised me because there's two coming out this month, and I thought it would be one of the two. I did look it up, and Pillion, which actually comes out this week, is not showing anywhere. So I was kind of surprised, but nowhere locally actually has it.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
I'm guessing that's why we didn't get that as a show. So, so Dracula, basically, when everybody talks about Dracula, everybody refers back to Bram Stoker's Dracula. And then take that, mix in Love Potion #9, the Disney Hunchback of Notre Dame, and dashing in some Dracula with that. You got this movie. The only thing in this Dracula movie has fangs and he's internal. The magic is the equivalent of using the Force to open doors and push bowls. Other than that, he did nothing special. So this movie opens with some weird softcore porn. Like, it just was off-putting. It didn't make any sense. It didn't advance the plot.
Well, so I think the first thing, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but it was like right away the biggest foreshadowing. The first thing he does in that scene is he just like bites her neck.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's a Dracula movie, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. You couldn't have saved that for like not the first 5 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, he literally just tilts her head over.
But
and
it was
does it
definitely
immediately,
sex
so.
in the first scene. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was off-putting. It was like supposed to be like very, very playful and things like that, but it was just kind of weird the way they were doing it.
They were like
They didn't
obsessed.
talk. They didn't talk for like the first 5 minutes of this movie. They grunted and like played games and like hit
Shot
each
a
other
gun.
with pillows.
Shot a
and
gun.
Pillow fight.
shot a
Shot a
gun
gun.
into a pillow.
Yeah.
It didn't
Stop
make
making out.
Yeah, and it was aggressive. Like, but you know, I mean, and I get it. So they had a sexual affection toward each other. That did not make me think that these two were like the soulmates that they made it
Yeah.
out to be. It seemed like they were severely in the honeymoon phase, but you know, I guess that was supposed to be the point. So nobody talks until these three guys come into the room while they're having sex and basically pull him away. And they're suiting him up with armor and telling him that it's time to go to battle, that the enemy's on the battlefield, and they have to pull him away from her like 3 times while they're dressing him. And then like 10 seconds later, she comes down the stairs in this full-on giant dress with a veil and everything, and her makeup's done and her hair is perfectly done and stuff like that. But it was like literally like immediately.
Yep.
So he goes down to get blessed before they're going to go to battle. And the priest that's down there says his little prayer, and he looks up to the priest and he goes, you know, all I want you to do is make sure that my wife is safe. And he was like, you know, I'll put it in God's ear, basically, is what the priest says. And he's like, no, you don't understand. He's
You
like,
tell him.
You tell him. And then he goes off to battle. And for some reason, his wife leaves the castle with 3 guards to go somewhere else. But the enemy's surrounding the castle and is in the area. So you're going to send her off. And I mean, she's in this gigantic fucking dress that covers the entire horse, and her veil is like dragging in the mud. Did you guys catch that?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
like her veil is like ridiculously long, dragging in the
Why
mud.
didn't they like, you know, have her go like incognito and put her in some armor?
Yeah, or
Yeah,
something.
we gotta
that's
point
the
her out.
question.
Something
with her dress.
other than march them right through the enemy line with
They're just hiding in trees.
one guy that was dressed in armor and then 2 like little like side character knights.
There were dumber characters in Game of Thrones who had many more guys.
Yeah.
So it's
Many
like,
more
let's give her 3.
So of course, you know, she dies. You know, and it was like this, they run through this field full of snow and there's like all these bear traps all over it, and the horse gets taken down, and then 3 guys come up on her, and then, you know, he finds out, he goes through this really cool battle, and he shows up on this like hillside, like with all these flames behind him and stuff like that, you know, and the imagery was like really cool. He was like going to overtake the
Enemy.
the enemy. I'm trying to think of what they were, what ethnicity they were. So he was going to overtake them from the hillside, and then he finds out his wife is. He finds out in the middle of battle that his wife is in danger, and he just like it's nighttime when he's standing on this hillside, and there's all kinds of flames and stuff over him, and he takes off, and the next thing you know, he's in this field right behind her, in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I think that was to demonstrate how deep his love was for her,
Yeah.
that he would find her anywhere.
But
That's great, but he just showed up in the middle of the day. Like it was
I
dead
agree
ass
with you, I'm
night
just
in the
saying.
middle of this battle, and he's just all of a sudden there in the day. Like, so the timeline made 0 fucking sense.
But his armor, he had the dragon
Yeah, it was cool
full
armor.
on mask.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It claws and
whatever,
everything.
yeah, whatever they were, they were the dragons, because then they showed it later on a sign by the castle. There's a dragon symbol on it.
Yeah.
But like in that line of fire, all the enemies' heads were on sticks.
Yeah,
So
that's
that
what I'm
looked
saying.
cool
It was cool. It
with
was
the
like an
line of
intimidating,
fire.
like really cool scene. And then you're just like, your wife's in danger. It's like, oh shit. Just runs off the hill in the middle of battle and goes and gets on a horse and
snow.
runs to daytime snow. You know, it's like, so he shows up and like, she's about to get stabbed, and he like takes out the other 2 guys and picks up the sword and throws the sword like 15 feet, and it goes right through the guy, and the guy stabs his wife at the same time. So then,
Was it that, or did the
Okay,
sword
I
go
thought-
through him and
Same.
hit
Yeah.
her?
Okay,
No,
so
he didn't-
that's
Same
what I
thing.
thought too.
That's what it looked like.
I thought
I
he
thought so
killed
too.
her as well.
Same.
No.
But we
I
looked it
up.
up later.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it
I just
was
assumed.
a little bit deceiving the way
Well,
that they
It was supposed to be like a simultaneous thing. That was the dramatic effect. Like he just didn't save her.
Let's also not forget, like, why were there bear traps everywhere?
Yeah.
For the
What
enemies,
was that?
For the enemies.
Which one of the enemies put it there? Like, did they put it there or did the other people put it there?
Because it screwed them both.
Yeah, because everybody was running through the bear
I
trap.
don't
So is
know.
there a third party that we don't know about?
Maybe,
it's like
maybe she wasn't supposed to be there. Like she wasn't supposed to be running through that field.
Yeah, that probably
That's
would have been
my
smart.
guess. But she doesn't know. She's just a princess.
But neither did they.
Nobody's supposed to be in that field.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They were just supposed to leave it alone.
Anyway, she dies.
Yeah, so she dies, and then he goes back to the priest, and he tells the priest that the priest is an asshole because he didn't pray hard enough, and his wife died, and then he all of a sudden has superhuman strength and like picks this like 240-pound guy up by his neck, and he's not a very big guy himself. Just picks him up and strangles him to death, and then like kills him right there in the church. And the other three guys look at him like he's a heretic, and they're like, "Oh gosh, what are you doing?"
Staked him with a cross, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, after he picked him up off the ground by his neck and slammed him into the table, but
okay.
So 400
years later.
Yeah, well, so they drag him away from the altar and like lightning crashes, and everybody's like, "Ooh, it's a sign." And then the next thing you know, it is like 400 years later, and so okay,
what era does it jump to? Is it supposed to be like the 1800s?
It's the 1800s.
Okay.
Yeah. So it jumps from the 1400s to the 1800s. So it jumps to the 1800s, and now we're in a hospital. We're in I want to say it's a mental asylum from the looks of it, the way everybody's acting in the hallways and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Christopher Waltz's character shows up, and he's a priest, and he's drinking in a church. And the doctor comes and gets him and takes him, and this is where we meet Maria. So Maria is if you follow Bram Stoker's Dracula, and then she's Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
So Lucy is the character that is usually this person in the other tellings of this. So Maria is held hostage. She's chained down to the ground, and Christopher Waltz walks in and acts like he has zero reaction to the fact that this woman's a vampire. And he basically just narrates the whole thing to death about, all the different ways to tell it she's a vampire. And he like walks over and he opens he explains why they can walk in daylight, but direct sunlight hurts them. And he opens up like a little opening in the wall, and one ray of sunlight comes in and that hurts her, but the sunlight from above doesn't. And then
it was overcast.
Yeah. Okay. So somehow there was no mirror or anything there, but that's a direct ray of sunlight that was focused into her from the open door thing. So the doctor goes over and closes it, and he goes and grabs a wooden cross out of his basket. He holds it up to her. She goes, and it turns into flames. And he's like, "See, that's good enough." And he just puts it out, and he's like telling the whole story basically of how
I liked the part where he said vampires are allergic to God's representatives.
Yeah. So the way they explained it, like he even said, like, what was it, a hemophiliac or something like that, or something like, something basically like they feed off of hemoglobin was like the thing, but the German church or whatever he's from has an explanation for it. And he explains why he's outcast from the main part of the Catholic Church. And he explains this and explains that. And he's completely dead-faced monotone the entire time.
Yeah.
Like no emotion, no nothing, just like telling you a story. And it's just like, okay, well, this is
when he says it's beyond science and understanding.
Yeah. So while they're looking her over, and she says that you'll find out soon, basically like her master is coming, and he's like, "Oh, he's coming here." They get a knock on the door, and they're like, I'm sorry. He did tell the whole story about how Dracula's looking for his lost love and, all this. So they know everything about the guy, but they don't know where he's at and, whatever. So they don't know two key things apparently to the Dracula story. So he says the church has been hunting him for 400 years. He's been doing it for 30 plus years. And then they go right into, you meet Mina. So Mina just happens to, of course, walk right into the hospital, and she's identical to the person in the book that Maria has, that basically has a picture of her and a picture of Dracula which I don't know why she's carrying around Bram Stoker's Dracula, and just showing these things. It's not like a journal. It's like a printed picture of both of them that the church has somehow never seen. And she has this book, which they didn't really explain that at all. So whatever. But Mina's there, and they immediately recognize her as who Dracula is going to be coming for. And they, without telling her, they're like, oh, well, it's great that you're here, and we'll let you know how Maria, your new friend, is, and this and that. So now they flash to a guy that's on a horse and carriage, and he's going to Dracula's castle, basically. And this guy pulls up in the carriage, and he says, we don't go any closer than this. You have to continue by foot. And the guy goes up a trail and walks toward the castle. The gate magically opens and then shuts right behind him, and he goes in, and he's greeted by Count Vlad the second, who is Dracula. Now, I just want you to keep in mind, this is 2,129 kilometers away.
It's pretty far.
So in this day and age of, the 1800s, there's no easy way to cross the countryside. So this is, quite the trip for him to get all the way out there. And that comes into play later in the movie for something that doesn't make any sense at all. So this is where they introduce the gargoyles from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Because apparently Dracula has these cartoonish gargoyles that do his bidding and stuff like that. But so he goes in, he meets Dracula. Dracula pushes a bowl to him and opens a couple of doors without, using his hands. And this guy's just like, oh, this is really different.
Nice trick.
And Dracula's like, now it's time to go to bed. Don't leave your room. And he's like, okay. And then the lead into that, he asked Dracula about this, was a phonograph that was sitting there.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I've always wanted to see one of those and stuff like that. And Dracula's like, oh yeah, some other time. And he's like, okay, go to bed. So immediately after he goes into his room and Dracula tells him again to stay in his room, Dracula goes down and turns on the phonograph.
Yep.
And then
almost the taunt
goes down to his crypt. So of course, 5 minutes later, this guy comes out of his room and he's walking through the castle. And he goes to the phonograph, and then he stumbles on the tunnel down to Dracula's crypt. And he goes down to the crypt, and Dracula's like, I told you not to leave your room. And so he's now a prisoner, and the gargoyles are like holding him down. And he's like, I'll give you your one chance to tell your story or whatever, or, to say your last wish. And he was like, no, I want to hear about you. You tell me your story. So Dracula goes into this huge spiel about how, like 150 years ago, he creates love potion number 9, and it's all to make everyone fall in love with him so that his wife's reincarnation of her soul will find him. So it's like this whole thing of he goes through like how he learns chemistry and he becomes a chemist and he tries all these things and he comes out with the perfect love potion number 9 that makes this perfume that makes everybody attracted to him.
Yep.
So that is their molehill that they're going to die on, that this is different from the other Dracula movies because, Dracula always just had that ability. He was just always enticing to women and stuff like that. These people were automatically drawn to his character and his power. Nope. He has a magic potion that does it this time.
Another missed opportunity. They could have did a whole brand deal with some company.
Yeah, Chanel or something,
They may still,
it was in Paris, I could have done something like that.
Okay, but only if they put it on the same way that Dracula does.
Oh, yeah. So, and it's like so over dramatic when he does it too. And it's even better when he's old and he does it. So that was phenomenal. Yeah. So he goes into this party in Paris and he's got this perfume on and everybody's attracted to him and he bites everybody in the party and he turns them into his minions. And all these minions are going to go out and search the world and find his lost love. And then he just like, well, I went home and I just sat there and waited for 130 years while my minions went out and tried to search. And then the guy's like, oh, well, true love. He was like, I know about true love. And he was like, look at my locket. And he was like, I'm getting married too. So you should let me go because you're a fan of true love. And Dracula looks at the locket. And then of course it's Mina, who's his reincarnated wife's, doppelganger. And,
which I was looking at Luke. I was like, are they saying Mina? Cause that's my daughter's name.
Yeah.
Mina Marie. And I was like, okay, this is weird.
So, of course, it's her, and he rips the locket away, and he's so rejuvenated, man. So this 130-year-old guy goes running up the stairs, and he gets into the dining room where every film or every scene in this fucking house is filmed, and he starts yelling, and he's like, I need blood. I need all the blood. Bring me all the blood. And all the gargoyles are like moving around. He's like, get my horses ready. Well, they never bring him any blood. The next scene they show is like he's crept outside of a convent and he knocks on the door, and this nun comes and he's like, oh, take me in. I need food and I'm tired and stuff like that. And she brings him in, and he just starts splashing love potion number 9 all over the place.
I feel like this was the funniest part of the movie for me.
All around him. And every time he moves his hand out like this, these 3 nuns come magically floating in. And he flashes it this way, and 3 nuns come from this way.
My favorite part was how they were like, oh.
Yeah. Oh. Because he splashed the potion. It's like, so they form a nun tower.
Yeah.
They really did.
They literally form a nun tower.
Part, the nun tower.
There's like 5 nuns, 4 nuns, 3 nuns, and then the really attractive, cute nun climbs the tower, and of course he bites her, and then he throws his head back, and she throws her head back, and his face is covered with blood, and then they just flash.
And then
the next
this
scene.
is my favorite scene. End scene, flash to him looking dead like Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
A very ugly Willy Wonka. This dude is not attractive. Like normally Dracula is like an attractive
Sexy.
guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this guy is not attractive at all. Like he looks like the Joker with the scars, but that's his actual mouth. Like that's how wide his mouth is on his face. Like, oh, I was just like, man, this is something else. So, all right, after the nun tower, I
do have to say, it's actually really funny when you watch the nun tower scene, because all of a sudden, like, it's just like he's at the top, but like we're talking like people high.
Yeah,
it's like 3 sections of people high.
Like these nuns are ripped.
Yeah, except for the main nun that let him in. She's fighting it, and she's just sitting in the corner going, no.
Well, he's taking all her nuns.
Yeah, but she's not affected by the magic potion.
That's
she's
impressive
got
too.
the antidote though.
She's
Love
worried
potion
about
number
the
9.
soup.
So
Let me backtrack for a second.
Okay.
Where the lawyer, he was like, tell me your story. He said, I'm dying to know all about you.
yeah.
Dracula was
Dracula's
like, about to kill him.
You're funny.
I thought that was hilarious.
Bump. All right, so they pan to the next scene is like the shadow of him walking through the hospital. Or I'm sorry, no, they showed him getting put into the carriage, like the gypsy carriage, and then they drove away from the convent, and then they show one scene of it in France. So now he's traveled 2,197 miles, and he's in Paris, like on the back of this carriage. So they show him in the hospital, like just basically the silhouette of him at first, like walking through the hospital, and he magically opens the door where Maria's being held, and she's like, Master, you're here, and stuff like that. And then basically he feeds her some young boy, and then they leave, and that's the end of that scene. And it flashes back to the attorney. He is in the castle, and he decides to make a like sheet rope, which always works out so well, especially since he's
out
got
of
like
a castle.
What's that?
Especially the ropes
down
out of
the
a
whole
castle.
side of a castle. Like we're talking like, a good 40, 50 feet. Of course, he doesn't make it anywhere near the bottom. And the gargoyles are coming out these little windows and trying to get him.
Scratching at him.
One of them throws a fucking hook, like a grappling hook, and like hooks his leg and yanks at him, and he just goes completely sideways and goes like 3 stories down, like face onto the side of the hill, and then rolls onto the ice. So there's like a big frozen lake behind the castle. And apparently the gargoyles weigh like 400 or 500 pounds or something, because they step on the ice and immediately it starts to crack. But he gets up and just walks all the way across the lake.
Yep.
Like no problem. He just gets up and walks across it. So the gargoyles can't follow him because apparently they're too heavy.
How convenient.
Yeah. So that's the end of that scene right there. It was a little cheesy, but whatever.
Then he walked all the way back.
Yeah, well, I haven't told you how he walked 2,197 miles yet. So, so he is back, and Maria comes up to Mina's door and rings the doorbell, and she's like, "Hey, I'm better. they let me out and we're going to, my friend I was telling you about, you're going to meet him. Come on, let's go. And she's like, plus I promised you hot chocolate. So
the hot chocolate never made any fucking sense.
Yeah.
no, it never placed whatsoever. Cause she's like, this place has the best hot chocolate. Let's go to the carnival.
It's not even cold. It should have been
Go to the
tea
carnival
or
where they have the
cider.
best hot chocolate.
Something.
Or it could have been cotton candy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. So they go to this like really fancy like restaurant and they meet Dracula and he's super freaking awkward. And
Willy Wonka.
hi. Yeah. He's like, you look like my dead wife.
Elizabeth.
And immediately, he goes into that and she's like, oh, okay. And Maria's like, come on, let's go. We're going to the carnival. And he just like stalks them through the carnival.
Hi.
Like just very creepily walks behind them. Every time they turn around, he's like,
I'm still here.
Oh, wait. Now it all makes sense. If he's actually Willy Wonka, that's why there's a chocolate reference.
oh, yeah. So he follows them through this creepy carnival and they have like a house of mirrors and they have like a haunted little house thing, and of course he's in there when she gets scared, whatnot. And then they're all like, we're going to go back to your apartment now. And she's like, oh, I don't think I should go back to another man's apartment. Just goes right up in, you know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyway, And then he like says that he wants to show her something and he takes her into the bedroom, which that was a missed opportunity. But
Penis. Let me show you my Wonka bar. My one-eyed Willy Wonka bar.
It's the everlasting gobstopper.
Oh, boy.
So he pulls out this 500-year-old music box and he shows it to her and she's like, wow, that's amazing. And he gives like the whole background on it. He's like, yeah, I gave this to my dead wife on our wedding day. And she's like, oh. He's like, you have it. And she's like, I can't take it. And he's like, you can't refuse a gift. And then he's just like, okay. And she takes this music box and it's like end scene. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? So
The flashback to all their memories.
As she listens to the music box.
There's little flashes with the music box, but they haven't come full on yet. Yeah. So
and his charming words meant to deceive.
No, that's coming up.
Coming.
That's coming up. So
that was one of Matt's favorite.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. So she goes home and she goes like into this hostel or whatever that she's living in, and her fiance is on the couch. So like he was only like a day behind Dracula. Like he had no money, no gypsies to take him on a carriage, no nothing.
No gargoyles.
Yeah, the gargoyles couldn't carry him or anything, and he barely walked across the ice the next night, but he's just there now.
And his leg is hurt from the grappling hook.
Yeah, his leg's hurt from the grappling hook. And he looks like he's about to die in this scene. Like they're all taking care of him and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, are you okay? Okay. And they're like, you go get some rest. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is her fiance and he just got back and he's like almost dying. And they're like, go to your room, woman. So she just goes up to her room. And the next thing you know, she's like, oh, I want to play the music box. Like, okay, don't worry about your fiance downstairs, So she plays the music box. Dracula comes in through the window. They have a whole thing about go out the way you came, and he's like, I'll jump off the balcony. And she's like, no, don't do that. Yeah. And like it goes back and forth and it's like, come on. Like, so he starts telling her the whole story about how he drinks blood and, this and that. And she's like, oh, you're sensual words that are meant to seduce me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, like I could see if he said something that was like seductive or something like that, you know what I mean? But you're talking about like, I kill people because I don't love their blood, but I need it, to survive. And I've done all these horrible things. Oh, seduce me, master. You know what I mean? It's just like, so then all of a sudden she's like,
that's going to be a clip.
She's like, make me yours. And he's like, oh, no, I can't. She's like, no, seriously. He's like, okay. So he bites her and they fly off the balcony. But before, I skipped one little part. Before he was walking up to her, he like tells her about the potion. He tells her about love potion number 9. And he throws it down on the ground and kicks it into the fire.
He didn't use it on her.
He's like, I didn't use it on you, though. I've been using this potion for 400 years or whatever to try and find you, but I didn't use it on you. I'm just your memories are natural. You're actually the reincarnation. Do you ever feel like you're supposed to be from another time? Because she said, I feel like I'm from a different time. And he's like, do you ever feel like you're from a different time? I'm like, God damn, like, this is so bad. So he kicks the thing into the fireplace. And then when they leave, the main character, the doctor, Christopher Waltz, he's like, I smell the perfume. And he's like, he's not like drawn to it like every other person that's ever smelled the perfume. He's just like, I smelled the perfume. Dracula's here. So they all go running upstairs. Like it's in the fireplace and it's spread throughout this building, but none of the other women are like running to this room to get to Dracula, like the nuns or anything like that.
It was just that old lady.
Yeah, but still, shouldn't she have been seduced by all this?
She was sleeping.
All right, well, all the guys in Paris, when he splashed the cologne, were all enthralled.
They were
with
dancing
him as well.
too.
So apparently it only works when it wants to work. But
maybe not on doctors.
He's a priest, not a doctor. But
wasn't the doctor there too?
The doctor was there too. So was the husband. And it doesn't work on attorneys, doctors, or priests, old women. This is love potion number 8. Number 9 was back at home.
Or frustrated nuns.
Off brand.
Yeah, he used all of number 9 on the nun tower. So.
This was a watered down version.
So they go running up into our room and they're like, oh, they're gone. And then they're like, well, I know somebody that can lead us to where they're at. So they go to find Maria. So Maria is like mounting her husband at this point. And this is the first time he's seen her. And she's just like, oh, I'm so happy. Aren't you happy I'm back? Aren't you happy I'm back? And she's like got him pushed down on the couch and she's mounting him. And then she's just about to bite him and they come through the door and she gets up and she's like, how dare you interrupt me? And then she does the Naruto run. Puts her hands back and her head down and like runs at him like super slow. And they're just like, no. Like smacked her. And then like they turn the camera and she's got Christopher Waltz and she's choking him. And the fiance grabs like this like saber off of the wall and he just cuts her head off. And then Christopher Waltz picks up this massive freaking metal cross off a mantle. And he just like, it's blunt. And he just like jams it through her entire torso.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, okay. You know what I mean? Like you're carrying around this little box with stakes and mallets and stuff, but go to the mantle and grab this huge decorative cross and stab her with that. So, that I thought that was funny. So anyway,
I thought they shot her.
Huh? They did.
They did shoot.
Yeah,
Oh,
when she did the Naruto
they did multiple
run,
things.
They
They
shot
shot
her, the cross, and then her head.
No, they shot her. They cut her head off and then did the cross.
Okay.
But she got right up after they shot her.
I'm just
Yeah,
going to say
I
to the
remember that.
audience, he's trying to say Naruto. Naruto.
Whatever that little Japanese commercial.
Commercial?
Whatever the anime is.
Yes.
With the kid with the whiskers and the orange coat.
Kid with the whiskers.
He's not wrong.
So I just can't speak. So anyway, they're like, oh, wait, you were in the castle in Romania. Can you lead us there? And he's like, sure.
Well,
He's
he
all
wants to
better
go
now.
back.
Yeah, he's
he
just
don't
like,
care about
sure.
those gargoyles.
You know, I just killed a vampire. I'm walking pretty good now. You know, we'll go all the way back to Romania. I don't need medical attention whatsoever.
Nope.
So the next scene they cut to is Dracula at the castle and he throws some money to the gypsies and he's like, I'm not going to need your assistance anymore. And they're like, okay. And they go to leave and Dracula shuts the gate and goes upstairs. And the gypsies are immediately met by soldiers. There's an entire army surrounding this castle. Like, not only did they make it there as fast as Dracula did, you know, but they made it there with a freaking army. So somehow they managed to gain this entire military force with cannons that are set up across the water from the castle and all these other things. But so Dracula goes upstairs and he goes into the bedroom and he starts talking to Mina and immediately like, what was it? Was a cannonball that came through the top of the castle first?
That
I
sounds
think so,
right.
yes.
Yeah, so there's like a cannonball that blasts through the top of the castle and he's like, he puts her in the corner. He's like, just stay here. He's like, I'll handle this. And he goes downstairs and all the gargoyles are doing like Krav Maga. they're like taking people out and they're like jumping up on their necks and like flipping them around and stuff like that. And it's so bad. You know, like they're doing little spin kicks on the floor. I think one of them is even doing like the crab walk thing, like at somebody, like, you know, like I'll choke you out. Like it was so bad. So, but they're afraid of bullets for some reason. So like when they started shooting, these stone creatures are like afraid of bullets. So like all of them run away. So Dracula comes out with a dagger and just takes everybody out. Like one by one, just starts taking everybody out with his dagger. And like at one point, I think he like ripped a sword off of somebody and was using a dagger and a sword and stuff like that. And so cool little fight scene. He goes through, mops everybody up, and he goes down to his crypt. And Christopher Waltz priest character and some other soldiers are down there, and Christopher Waltz just like leans behind a pillar and waits for Dracula to clear the room. And then he comes out with no weapons and stands in front of him, and he's like having this whole conversation about, I'm here as God's envoy.
I'm not here to kill you.
I'm not here to kill you. I'm here to heal you.
I'm here to save you.
Yeah, I'm here to save you. And Dracula's like, what? And he doesn't like kill him or anything. He's got a dagger to start. He's like, so you're the guy that's been hunting me all these years, huh? And it's like, you knew? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you know that? Like, how do you even know this story? So, Christopher Waltz basically just, you know, says, you know, if you loved her, then you wouldn't do this to her. You would set her free. And then he like neatly opens up his box and he pulls out a mallet and he pulls out this giant metal like stake with a big square head on the end of it. And he just goes walking right behind Dracula, like casual as shit. And Dracula goes upstairs and he kills a couple more guards right in front of the bedroom where Mina's at. And then he goes into the bedroom and he sees Christopher Waltz's character walking to it, and he slams the door on him. And Christopher Waltz is outside going, you know, if you really loved her, you would set her free. You wouldn't damn her forever. And Dracula's like, yeah. And he kisses her and he comes out and he's like, okay, yeah, just go ahead and do it before I change my mind. He just like opens himself up. Christopher Waltz takes a stake, hits him in the thing, and then he just takes his stake and mallet and he goes walking back downstairs to the crypt. He wipes off his stake. He puts it back in the box. And that's the end of that. Like Dracula gets drug into the bedroom. Mina pulls him up on the bed and he starts turning into dust. Well, at first he turned into
old
Darth Sidious. Yeah, Emperor Palpatine. He did too. He's all wrinkled. Ultimate power. You know, he's just like laying there. So, and she's sitting over top of him and she's like, why'd you do this? And he's like, because I love you. And he just turns into dust. And she's sitting there and she's like picking him up.
He ghosted
and
her.
going like this. Yeah. And
after 400 years of searching.
Yeah, immediately it's just on. He's like, you know what? You're right. Go ahead and kill me. So her fiance walks up to the door and sees her like playing in the ashes and stuff like that. And she looks at him and he looks at her and he's like, fuck. And he just walks away. Christopher Waltz walks out of the crypt with his case, walks right past the doctor, and he's like, all's good. And he just walks off into the distance. Deadpan, no emotion, spent 30 something years of his life trying to get to this moment. And he's just like, and just walks away. And then the fini, movie's over. I'm like, what the fuck did we just watch? Like, what did I just sit through?
The best part is it just says Dracula's a love tale.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, what the fuck did we just watch?
Oh, I was so disappointed. I was just like,
I do think it's funny that like he spends all this time searching for her, blah, 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 finally finds her. And then it just took a few words, a very like deadpan, like, you shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay.
This is bad.
Like, that's fine. We're good.
And
we don't need to explore any of our love anymore or anything like that. And she's like 100% obsessed with him again.
Well, that's the end of our lovely Dracula movie for the Secret Movie. So Secret Movies are batting like very low numbers here recently. Like, I don't know. Like when we walked out, you were like, I didn't think it was bad. I was like, what the fuck did you just watch? Like, I'm like, this movie was fucking horrible. Like,
I guess what wasn't bad about it is if you like Game of Thrones or any earlier
I love
history
that kind
movies.
of stuff.
I just liked how it looked. Like
Okay.
everything was per
The aesthetic.
period.
The aesthetic was
The
on
aesthetic,
Yeah,
their clothes, the castle, the decorations, their makeup, hair.
the one living room that was 2 different sets, the
I
dining room,
It's not that there was a lot of places,
and
but it
his
still looked
bedroom.
good.
So I mean,
there wasn't
they did not
anything
spend
that-
a shitload on set design.
Oh, let's Google that.
In US dollars, it was 52 million.
Okay, not very much. I bet you 25 million of that was Christopher Waltz salary.
Well, how famous is Caleb Landry Jones?
He's not.
Okay, well, it says featuring
Yeah.
Caleb Landry Jones and Christopher Waltz. So
Yeah, we looked up him. We looked up the 2 women to see
What
what
else
else
is
that
he
they,
in?
were in and stuff,
yeah.
and not a lot.
he's in
Wasn't he? Was
Dogman,
he OC or something? Like
Nitro.
that?
Yeah,
Get
he was in
Out,
the OC.
X-Men, First Class from 2011.
Yeah, 50 million is not a big budget for a major motion picture. So I don't know.
I think the thing for me, I walked out and I was like, I looked at Matt and I was like, did they have this perfume thing in the original?
Yeah, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, like I had to think
Dracula
back
just
and I'm like,
attracted people. Like that was like one of the things about vampires is the sexual lore of the whole thing. you know
yeah,
what I
and I
mean?
think that that really, I had a hard time with that. I really did,
And it was like 25 minutes of the fucking movie.
it was
Yeah.
a lot.
I mean, it did give us the nun scene. So I mean, but they could have done that without the love potion. You know what I mean? They could have
Right.
just had him drawing people in like that. Which at first I thought that that's what was going on, and then I realized he got the vial in his hand. He's like,
Yeah. But I
Yep.
think if they really wanted that to be like the staple for this movie, then it needed to have some consistency. Because again, like it worked sometimes, it didn't work other times.
I don't.
Like it
Maybe
was just
because
kind
it
of
got
like,
caught on fire in the fireplace, it lost its potency, or they burned off the major chemical. I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
a chemist. You know
Let's
what I mean?
go
So
with that.
We'll go with that. We'll go with that. That's why it didn't affect anybody in the house. You know. But he's carrying around the potion the entire time. Like you can see it in his hand. Like almost pretty much the entire movie. He's like, but I didn't use it on you. You might have.
Right.
Well, don't you still have it on?
Yeah.
But you didn't use it on her.
No,
Okay.
it came off in the 2,193 miles that he had to travel in fucking 3 seconds to go from Romania to Paris. Like the travel in this movie drove me nuts. Like that's just one of those things that I can't stand is when you're instantaneously somewhere else with no context.
Yeah. I think the thing is this is a love story. And really the moral of the love story is it's supposed to, transcend time. But then one guy is going to be like, you don't really want this for her. And he's like, okay. And just is like, okay.
But he really loved her, so he wasn't going to damn her,
Yeah.
After he brought back all these memories, made him into her ex-wife, and then, so she's got some.
So the moral of a love
She's got
story.
some psychiatry issues that she's going to have to deal with,
The moral of the love story is it's dead.
I like the fact that everybody left her there.
Yeah.
The whole movie, the whole reason they went there and everything like that was because they were going to save Mina, you know what I mean? And then they see her in the bed, like playing with dead person's ashes. And they're like, yeah, we're going to go. Everybody's like, peace out. We're just going to leave you in this shot up fucking castle, and deuces. Christopher Waltz having no emotion. He's just like, tink. And then he cleans off the spike and walks out. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
I did think it was very interesting that there was anything else that they could
What's he
think
need
of
this,
as he left to just say, all good now.
What did he
and
need
literally
the
just walk
spike and the
away.
mallet and stuff for? What did he need to go back and put it back in that box and carry it out for?
True. It's
He's
done.
just being a professional.
But I mean, 30 something years of tracking this guy down.
In case
He's
he
like,
ever-
and it's
It's
immediately
his
over.
emotional support. Steak and mallet.
He did talk about it too, like 3 times about having to stake somebody in the heart, and he had this thing with him. Like
He was just waiting to use it.
He was.
But he could have used it on Maria, and no, he picked up the biggest blunt freaking heavy metal cross he could find, jams it through her entire torso. It's like, what a waste of a great set
Maybe
of
it
tits.
had Dracula's name on it.
Yikes.
Yikes. All right. So that was Dracula, A Love Tale.
All right, we're back. If you notice that the video happens to upgrade in quality for Matt and Virginia, well, we can all blame that on the combination of Google Chrome / Squadcast crashing, but Squadcast having a cloud backup, which is
Squad crashing.
somewhat of a okay quality for just
We had technical difficulties.
Anyway, let's please move on. Online escape rooms.
Virginia.
So a while back, this advertisement kept popping up on my feed that was for Wolf Games, which is like an online escape room. And they had a deal where you could buy a pack of 3 for like $60. So I jumped on it thinking that Matt and I had the idea that we could connect with my brother who lives in a different state. And
Possibly your sister who lives in a different state from that.
yeah, so that was the original idea. And
That's a good Mamalukes story, by the way.
that is a good Mamalukes story.
It's a good Mamalukes story.
But we'll save that for another time. We didn't end up connecting. So we ended up doing this with a friend of ours that lives not quite as far away, but about an hour away.
Wait, you have other friends?
I know, sometimes. Anyway, so they decided to be our guinea pigs. We tried this out with them just to see kind of what one of the games was like.
Technical difficulties. That was the first hour of this.
This is true. So we'll get there. But so the company this is Wolf Games, and they offer 4 different online escape rooms. Again, I bought a pack of 3. Normally they are running a sale. It's like $30 a game. So 3 for $60 wasn't too bad. We tried out Pharaoh's Tomb. Oh, I'm sorry. We did not.
No, we didn't.
Yes.
How was it?
So, okay, explain real quick. Are these like web browser based? Is this on your phone?
Yes. Well, web browser based.
Okay. So you're doing this like on a computer, laptop?
Correct. Yes.
And your phone.
Yeah. So it's kind of a combination.
Gotcha.
So basically, one person runs the room, and they're sharing their screen so that you can see all the video playthrough and stuff like that.
Okay.
But you're interactive based off of your phone, where you can view different items and stuff like that.
I got you.
So you join her group.
Right. Okay.
Right. So, the way we did it on my computer, and then we casted it to Matt's TV so that everybody at his house could see what was going on.
We attempted to cast it to my TV.
We did eventually do it,
Who
right?
was that?
We hooked it up directly.
Who was at Matt's
that's true.
house?
That's true. So,
Me and Virginia.
and my son,
Nolan.
and then at my friend's house, it was her and her husband.
I'm just being stupid.
Well, it is part of it because I was going to actually tell you anyway.
Oh, okay.
But so I think, what did we do? Did I send them
So
the link?
you have to run this through either Microsoft Teams or Zoom.
Boo.
Yeah.
Also boo.
Yes, those are
Yeah.
your 2 options, and they were very boo.
We picked Zoom first.
Yeah, we picked Zoom, but we do not have Zoom Pro.
Right.
So we had a time limit, which we found out,
Which was what, 40 minutes?
40 minutes, which 30 minutes of that was setting this up.
Uh-huh. So we probably played about 10 minutes of the actual game on Zoom and realized that we would have had to purchase it to be able to continue using it and have more time. Or we could have, I think, waited like 5 minutes or something?
Yeah, well, you have a time period in between your Zoom calls.
Yeah.
So your free Zoom calls. You have to wait I think it's like 9 minutes. It's something really stupid.
Yeah. So we opted to go to Teams after that,
Ugh.
which worked.
Which people had to
Smoother.
sign up for Teams, and the one person using their computer didn't have Teams, so then they had to go sit next to each other.
This is true.
So it was a
So I would say,
ordeal.
yes, I would say the first hour was just trying to figure out what this looks like as far as like how to do this. So at the same time, then what you're doing is you have what they call
It's just like the
Yeah.
inventory system
Yeah.
in the game.
yes.
Yes.
So you could look at some of the clues closer and things like that, which
Okay.
was helpful. I do think that
Well, yeah,
That's
you
what
had
it
to
was.
have had that. Otherwise,
Right.
we'd be waiting for you to scroll through each different screen and everybody's yelling, go back and look at this. And
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So
how did we actually send it to them? Just on
there's a
Teams?
QR code. And when you scan the QR code, it sends you a link. And then it automatically, every time you find something in the room as the main person
That's right.
moving through, then that item shows up in our inventory. And then we can look closely at that item.
Correct.
Sometimes it's entire rooms. Sometimes it's pictures of things. Sometimes it's like a document. And then we have all that stuff in our inventory. And like, we know what the riddles are. And we're just basically everybody's trying to break down the information off of their phone and be like, this is what we need to do. When she shared her screen, and basically then they tell you, and the audio and everything's all screwed up. So like we're listening to the audio through her laptop because her laptop won't broadcast through my TV.
Right.
So we can't barely hear anything in the living room, and they could hear it on their computer.
Yes, because I had shared the.
Yeah, but they could actually hear the audio on their
Right.
computer. Like we're on the other side of the room from
right.
her trying to listen to it through her laptop
Correct.
speaker. So it was,
Right.
that part of it was poor. But that was our own technical difficulties.
Okay.
So we were not
But I
grooving.
we didn't know exactly what we were getting ourselves into either. I was just
Yeah.
sort of like, okay, let's figure out how to.
Yeah, we probably
run
should have set
this.
it up and then sent the invite instead of spending 45 minutes to an hour setting it up together.
But to be fair, I didn't know that we could set it up on our end completely.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I
know,
mean?
that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
it doesn't explain how you got to go through the whole thing greatly because there's videos that play that tell you to do certain things, and that's
Mhm.
how you're learning to do it. So it was initially like off-putting. Like at one point, me and Nolan were on our phone. We're just like, whatever. Just like, you guys will figure it out amongst yourselves and then let us know when we're playing. Like it was that bad.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
So, so anyway, we get it going. The game plays fairly smooth. It's very, what do they call that? Linear. It's a linear type game.
You are like, are you reading my notes or what?
No, I just did the same thing you did. So, I digress. Go ahead.
So
He can't see from over there.
I can't either.
that was pretty good though. So the description for the one we ended up doing Phantom's Hour, which is a Sherlock Holmes
Sherlock's home.
Sherlock Holmes escape room online. So the description for it says, when a stranger writes in dire need, accused of a heinous crime, Sherlock and Watson are drawn into a chilling case that defies all logic. Could the killer truly be a ghost?
Defines all logic or defies?
Didn't I say defies?
No, you said defines.
You
Okay.
said,
Defies.
damn, he's fine.
Exactly. Defies all logic. So that was the premise of it. So again, figuring out the technology was definitely one of those things that was frustrating. Essentially what you are looking at is a room where you can click on certain clues, and specifically it if you hover your mouse over the different areas, it shows like circles that you can click on. And so one of the things that I would point out is that this is not like a typical escape room where there could be things in there that are going to throw you off. Like pretty much everything that you had to click on, you had to look at and figure it out. But like they didn't give you like, what is that called? Like where you are thrown off the trail.
Diversion.
Red herring.
Yeah, nothing like that is in there. Really, I think everything we clicked on, we used.
Okay.
So that's one of the things. I think it was very well done for the most part, as far as like, I thought the graphics were pretty decent. How did you feel about that?
It was mainly still images. There wasn't a whole lot of video
That's
or anything
true.
like that. So
Yeah, that's valid. But it was, okay.
it wasn't hard to find the clues that you needed because like she said, immediately
Yeah.
when you scroll the mouse over top of it, it lights up. So then you click on that. Figuring out how those objects come into play, I think they did a pretty good job of making puzzles out of that.
Yeah, I would agree.
It was a medium difficulty.
Yeah. And this was one, I will say this was one that was not as difficult. So it was a 3 out of 5. It was one of their easiest. Actually, I think it is their easiest
Yeah. it was.
online room. So
Which we picked randomly.
we did
So-
pick randomly. but the clues were pretty fun to figure out. The storyline, I feel like it reminded me a lot of like anything else I don't know why I keep saying that. Sherlock Holmes related, where it was just kind of like twists and turns, where it was like, oh, look, this one little clue led us to a completely different conclusion, or like now we're in a completely different place and have to figure out something completely different. So there was definitely that element of it. So I would say that my son, what would you say? After 10 minutes of, maybe even less, 5 minutes.
Yeah, he started putting a Lego set together.
He was over it. And I would say that my friend's husband really didn't, I don't think I really heard him.
He went to sleep at one point.
That's definitely what it seems like. He was not very engaged. So like really it was Matt, myself, and my friend that were kind of like figuring out the puzzles and talking through the whole thing. So
there you go. She admitted she has another friend.
I know, I can't even. What is this friend's name?
what are you going to do?
I'm not going to do anything.
Anne.
I just want to know if she's
Her name is
actually
Anne.
real.
Shout out to Anne.
So Anne, Virginia, and I actually did the puzzles and stuff like that. And he was there. He did at one point disappear. We got kind of frustrated on one puzzle, and we really couldn't figure it out. And it took us a good 25 minutes to figure out the one puzzle.
Yes.
So I think that's when he kind of lost interest.
Yeah. I agree.
And then me and Anne are both loud people, like when we're doing
I agree.
things like that. So we're kind of dominating the speech at that point. So
That's true. There was,
Dominating.
at one point, there was a clue, and Matt was like, type this in, do this. And he was just telling me, I had no clue what like how he was figuring it out. And then Anne said, she was like, wait, how are you getting that? Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, so this next. And I'm still like, okay, but I'm lost. Like, I'm the one typing these things in, but I have no clue why.
just do what we're telling you to do.
Yeah, that was kind of like where it was. And I was like, okay, then. Eventually I did figure it out, but I don't think you guys even really explained it. I just was like, oh, it's this. Got it. But it was like at the very end.
So basically there was like, and I don't even want to ruin it for anybody and give exactly how the clue worked, but there was like keys missing off a keyboard, and you had to figure out how they went back on, and then you had to type a word with the keys in the wrong space.
Right.
And we figured it out, and we're just telling her what to type. And she's like, why,
And where to
why
put
am
the
I doing
keys?
this? And she's just typing, and I'm like, just keep typing.
It was
It's
a keyboard?
Yeah,
Like a typewriter.
like a typewriter.
Oh, I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
It's still a keyboard, whatever.
Well, yeah, but I'm just thinking like
There was keys missing.
There
off
were
the-
keys missing.
Aesthetic.
You had to put it in, yeah.
the aesthetic.
Yes, it was
Of the
still very
time period.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, very
Holmesy?
That's
early
Holmesy.
1900s, whatever you
Yes.
want to call it.
Mhm.
So I would say it was fun for those who were engaged. I don't think Nolan got anything out of it.
Once we were rolling, it was fun.
Yeah, I agree. It was a little frustrating at first, but so the other thing that I would mention about this is as you're going through, they have like a bar at the top where you can kind of see your progress. You kind of know about how long it's going to take you. There's no time limit to these. You can take as long as you want, but they give you like, this is the average time, and then it keeps a clock going. You have unlimited clues. So anytime that you like don't understand where to go next, you can click like a little hint button, and it penalizes your time by like, I think we used a couple and it was like 3 minutes each.
It didn't even help us whatsoever.
It didn't. The first one definitely didn't. It was kind of a waste.
It was 2 clues on the same thing too. It wasn't like we
Yes.
used them in 2 different places. We literally got stuck on one thing.
Yeah,
Right.
the entire time. Well, not the entire time, but throughout the whole thing, there was one clue that we couldn't quite get. So we decided to use a clue or like a hint, and it gave us again something that didn't help us. So we ended up using the second hint, just because the first one didn't really do anything. We already knew what it was telling us. So that is kind of the setup for it. So I was just going to highlight a few things I like about it, and then you can tell me what you think. But I liked that they gave clues. I liked the clues that they gave. I thought they were decent and fun to try to figure out.
The puzzles, you mean?
The puzzles, yeah. I like that the website gives you the difficulty and the average time. Again, this one was a 3 out of 5 in difficulty, and it said the average was about 2 hours. It took us about 2.5, I would say, right?
Yeah, but an hour of that was setting it up.
Did that count the time?
Yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah, because you were on.
Oh, I didn't think that started the time.
No,
yet.
you were on. It only took us about an hour and a half to actually get through the puzzle itself.
Oh, I really thought that was the actual time.
No, because immediately you started the story.
Oh.
And then we were trying to get volume to work, and then we were trying to get
I guess
teams
that's
to work,
true.
and then teams stopped working. The clock's running the whole time.
Yeah,
we were trying to
I guess
switch
that's
between
true.
Zoom and Teams, and
Yeah, because it was still up on my screen. I forgot that. I
Yeah.
guess that's true. So yeah. I also like that it showed the progress so you could kind of see about where you were. I liked that each player could look in more detail on their phone. I think that it is a really affordable evening activity. And I think that it is if you can figure out the technology, it's a decent way to have a time with people that are farther away because it's just an online platform kind of thing. The things that I didn't like were that it, again, was linear, but I think it would be difficult to not do something linear.
with one person controlling the entire thing, it would be.
Yeah. So, but again, I don't typically like linear escape rooms, but I definitely think this was, if you have the
Necessity.
right people and the right amount of people, I think it still is fun. Even though it was like that. Again, the technology was definitely something. And I'm not sure whether I would have liked it better if they had things in the room to throw you off. Like if you could explore things that had nothing to do with it. I mean, I think it would just take more time.
Maybe some other rooms do. We don't know. So.
That's true. That's true. This particular one did not, though. So those are the main things I think I had noted about it. There are all kinds. I did do a little bit of research into other online escape rooms, and there are a ton. So the ones that I noted that got pretty decent reviews were called Enchambered, Escape Academy, and Glitch Games. Those were all companies that were recommended by a lot of people. So Wolf Games, it just happens to be one that must have really good advertising because it came across my feed quite a bit. And finally I was like, okay, let's give it a try. So anything else you can think of?
No, I do want to tell the Mamalukes story though. So basically, we bought this to do this with her brother. So she contacts her brother and she's like, I want to do an escape room. And he's like, oh yeah, we've always wanted to do one of those and stuff like that.
And I sent him a link.
Yeah, to this online escape room.
I said, hey, would you want to try this with us?
So after about a month, we hadn't heard anything. She contacts him again. She's like, hey, I really want to do this escape room. Well, here he's having this whole conversation with his wife where they're thinking that Virginia wants him to come to Ohio and do an escape room because he never looked at the link. So they planned this whole ass trip just to come up here to do an escape room.
Like a physical escape
Yeah.
room.
And then a month or 2 weeks before they're supposed to come, it dawns on everybody what's actually going on because he's like, I just can't believe how you're forcing the,
like
you
he
want us
was
to go on this escape room. I don't understand why this is so important to you that we drive all the way up here from Georgia to do an escape room with you, and
but they did.
yeah, they did. But that wasn't the point of it at all. But
So
it's
did you guys do an escape room?
We
Yes.
did.
Which one?
We did the the crypt one that was out in.
It was the same place that was the Mario.
Yeah, it's all the way up
Oh,
in
okay.
Menor. It's through the Cleveland Escape series. It's up in Menor. And we did I can't remember what the theme of it was,
I was trying to
but
think
you're in
of-
a crypt.
Is that what we did with them? I
Yeah.
thought that was like a
No, because remember we were moving the chalices and stuff around the room, and there was the room in the back. We were in a room with a sarcophagus and stuff like that. It was and we had to move statues of different saints to different places to do something.
Oh, okay, yes.
So
I do
yeah.
remember that one.
But anyway, so yeah, he thought that we wanted him to come all the way from Georgia to do an escape room.
Did
So
they figure that out? Did you all figure this out before they came?
Yeah, like a week before. So the trip's like planned and everything. And
So what was, I mean, they were just going to visit anyway?
No, so this
or-
was like, I texted him. This had to have been like, I don't even know how many months before. And like multiple times I was like, hey, so do you guys have any time like in the next like month or so? Like a free evening. That's what I said in these
Okay.
texts. And my brother's like, hey, like, let me check my schedule. You know, I've been talking to his wife about it or whatever. And the next thing I know, he's like in our family chat saying like, well, so we've decided to come on these days. Like, what's everybody doing so we can make sure we get a visit in with everybody or whatever. And then separately, he was like, okay, so, you know, what day do you want to do this escape room or whatever? And I was like, what? I'm like,
oh boy.
I'm like, you mean the online one? I'm like, you want to do that when you come here? Like the whole point was so that we could do it like when you were at home. And he's like, oh, he's like, I thought that you wanted to do an escape room. He's like, I was really confused. He's like, as you were adamant about like
they
really
were like
wanting to do
concerned
this.
about her. They
Yeah,
thought
like-
something was going on in her
like,
life
why
because
do
she
you
wanted
really
them
wanna
to come up
do
here
this?
so bad.
So
Did you ask him, hey, did you look at the link?
I said, you realize that was online, right? And he was like, it is? And then I said,
Ugh.
yeah, did you click on the link? And he's like, well, I just saw that it was an escape room. Just like, okay.
That's
So
funny.
So yeah,
that was definitely a mom. Like, I actually joke with him quite a bit. And he's a busy guy for sure. But to be fair, to be fair, that was last summer that they came up here. And I've still been asking him, like, hey, anytime you want to do this. So that's why we chose to look for somebody else to be our guinea pigs because they are busy.
yeah.
Rudy,
Who doesn't listen?
who doesn't listen to the podcast, but if you ever do,
We're talking about
We
you.
called you out.
yeah,
Mama
you
Luke.
are the Mamaluk. So
Back to Sherlock Holmes. Do you guys like Sherlock Holmes?
You mean the game?
The movie. Movies?
Oh, the ones with
Series?
Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah.
Love those.
Right.
Guy Ritchie's a great director.
Have you seen Enola Holmes
Yes.
with Millie Bobby Brown?
Yes, 1 and 2.
Oh,
Do you
I
know there's a
haven't.
third
And
coming out
Henry
this summer?
Cavill. I did not care for the first 2.
There's a
I'm just
third
not-
one coming
I
out.
don't know if I'm a fan of her. Maybe it's just her I don't like. I don't know. But
I just thought we could tie it back into Stranger Things somehow.
yeah, I know. So and the girl who plays Enola Holmes, which is Sherlock Holmes' sister in this story, is 11.
oh, I didn't realize that.
And Henry Cavill is Sherlock Holmes.
It just popped in my head. I was like, oh, Enola Holmes. I was like, I'm pretty sure that is Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love the Guy Ritchie ones with Robert Downey Jr. I
Yeah,
can't wait for the
same.
third one. Like they've been teasing us about it for a decade now. So
The main input I have with the whole online escape room story is use Discord next time.
you can't.
And like it
can't?
gave you.
No, you have to run it through their Teams or
Zoom.
Zoom.
What do you mean?
Maybe you can figure it out, but it tells you that you have to run it through that.
I would be curious.
It
if
tells
could.
you have to run your web browser game.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe it just recommends it.
I don't
No.
know. It told us
I'm about to
it-
slap somebody if that's what they're forcing
It
on me.
literally comes up and says
Virginia,
use Teams
send
or
Luke
Zoom.
the link.
Like we'll figure it out. We'll
See?
do one. We'll do one.
Yeah,
even though you
actually, I
guys
was actually
live
going to say
15
we should do one
minutes
with you
away.
guys.
Well, I don't know. We might be busy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we I don't know if we can travel that far.
Don't
Like,
be like that.
that's-
I can't take anymore.
Matt, is something wrong with her
You
that
guys
she
really
wants to
want
do
us to
this
come over to
escape
do
room?
an escape room?
You guys can be at the bar and we'll be up in your living room.
Yeah.
We can't figure out the technology on our end. That's for sure. She drove. That's all I'm gonna say. So.
Is that part of the technology too?
Wow. Wow. I did
get
just
Nicole-
fine. Thank you
got
very much.
frustrated trying to explain,
How
and I was
many-
just like, "Screw it! I'm just getting on my phone."
How
before I
many
get-
narrow left turns did she make?
Too many.
It was a lot. Okay. For the record, next time you can drive and you'll hear like at least 2, possibly 3 people
telling
Oh
you
no,
what
I'm
to
not
do.
talking about gameplay.
Move the cursor over there. Move the cursor over
I'm
there.
not talking about gameplay. I'm talking about getting it set up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you didn't know what we were had
I was
to
trying
do
to
either.
explain to you, and it was just
Which thing? Casting?
trying to get the volume to work on the TV for one.
The volume to work on the TV.
Yeah,
Okay,
so that
true.
I could hear the
True.
video and what was going on.
Yeah,
the
but you
computer.
didn't figure it out still.
Because I couldn't get you to do what I wanted you to do through the right speakers.
I clicked on
And-
everything you told me to click on.
As soon as you clicked on something, you were off to something else. You wouldn't. No, I'm not
Can
going.
we phone a friend?
You
I
steer.
just
Call
had
Ann.
like a brilliant idea for a new T-shirt we need to make.
You drove.
She's driving.
No.
Narrow
It's-
left turns.
It's for Virginia. It just says, to be fair, I must say, Well-
Okay, Virginia.
Maybe
I
I'm
need-
a little defensive.
Virginia, I need you to take note of Luke's one-liners. Oh boy.
Oh, we're gonna
Wow.
we're gonna have
We
multiple
need to make
shirts.
a shirt that says, "Oh boy, wow."
yeah, but I didn't say that on the podcast.
If looks could kill.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay,
Oh,
but you had a
boy.
problem with the Alysha Intelligence T-shirt.
I don't have a problem
Ooh,
with it.
there's
I
one
just
of
don't
those?
love it.
But there's going to be
of those.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
like that.
think.
We could all make a shirt. The only problem is Matt's.
It's
Would be
gotta say
copyrighted.
That's what she said somewhere on it.
That's
right?
I just assumed it had to have this logo. Copyright strike. Not a sponsor.
Yet.
Yeah, I don't know if we.
You can't do that.
We'll do the Timo version and have
The
four lines.
Yeah,
The DHK Adidas shoes.
Adidas.
Very good. So, well, you'll have to let us know if you have done an online escape room. What'd you think?
Yeah, what was your experience?
What is your recommendation for the best one if you've done several? And we will have to arrange this with Alysha and Lucas for them to try it and let them give you their review.
I will handle the technicals.
You're driving.
I'm driving.
I don't know. After watching the podcast today, maybe you should.
That wasn't my fault.
Neither
I had
neither
technical
was the
difficulties.
technical
Yeah,
difficulties
it
that
wasn't
we
her fault
experienced.
either.
Let's put that on a shirt. That wasn't my fault. Luke's face.
Yeah, and that'll be covered up in the words technical difficulties.
What was it wasn't really an escape room, but the detective room that we did.
Oh,
I really liked that one.
the detective room?
Yeah.
Are you talking about escape room simulator?
Is it the same one? Is that the same line of games?
Yeah, so well, I don't know. Same as what?
The
Like
one with the guy dancing when you
Oh,
win?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't remember him dancing at the end.
Escape room simulator.
This one was-
it's a video game. It's not like you play it in your web browser. It's like an actual PC video game, which
They have a VR version.
I want to say, like, yeah, you can play the game like in its VR mode too, which is probably you'd mentioned before, like the VR escape room places. I bet you a lot of those. Well, there's probably a ton out there, but I would imagine some of them use this game to.
The only one I know of locally is Boardman, which isn't super local.
Right.
So might have to make a trip. But
Right. But yeah, escape room simulator. That's obviously a little more advanced because it's like you got to actually install the game on your computer or whatever. But it's probably good for just if you're playing locally and not trying to have a bunch of people like, online or
Yeah,
whatever.
like you two could play together.
You could do that again, Discord, but yeah, it's probably just better to play that one locally.
But I
Did you guys enjoy it?
Yeah, I really like the detective room. There was like a bunch of clues all over the room, and then you found papers as well.
Yeah, there's different themed rooms, but like each theme has like 5 rooms of that theme. So like there's like an Egyptian theme, there's like a detective theme, I think that detective one.
That robot one.
That detective one was kind of
Sounds like they did a lot of escape rooms without us.
Yeah.
yeah, we did it with our
that.
other friends that you don't
our
know.
other friends.
No, that's what I thought.
The short ones with 4 legs.
Yeah.
Your previous friends.
The cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really participating.
Participating.
Boo.
We're already 2.5 hours into this recording, and we're not even in the second half. Virginia, do you have a
Trivia question?
trivia question?
I sure do. It's time for trivia.
Yay! That's the wrong song. There it is.
Technical difficulties.
I'll claim.
Not my fault.
I'll claim that one.
I'm not driving.
Thank God. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Your trivia question, because it was a Sherlock Holmes escape room that we did. The question is, what street do Holmes and Watson live on?
Holmes Avenue. No, that'd be too on the nose.
Watson was the street next to the one I grew up on.
You don't live near there anymore, right?
No.
Okay. Well, all right.
No.
You're fine. I hope. I guess. All right.
Anyway,
trivia questions and answers are at the end, but for right now, we're going to take a make-believe break. Support for Mamalukes is brought to you by Aspire Drinks. Looking for an energy drink that doesn't give you jitters and that inevitable crash? Aspire is redefining energy drinks with a better, healthier way to power your day. Unlike most energy drinks that are loaded with excessive caffeine and sugar, Aspire delivers a gentle, balanced boost with 80 milligrams of natural caffeine, half the caffeine of most leading energy drinks. Packed with essential vitamins and enhanced with biotin and ginger, the benefits are a no-brainer. They're enjoyable for any moment, at work, the gym, or on the go. Order now with free U.S. shipping. Find them at aspiredrinks.com and use our promo code Mamalukes to get 20% off anything on your order. That's aspiredrinks.com and promo code Mamalukes to get 20% off your order. Welcome back. It's time for Sportsball.
All right, so this is a hot take, and it's a personal opinion, and kind of like a little bit of a hot button for me with sports ball this week. Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer and Shedeur Sanders making the Pro Bowl are everything that is wrong with sports today.
America.
I just can't even, those two things are just like, I was so mad when I saw both of them. Shedeur Sanders threw for 1,400 yards, 7 TDs, and 10 interceptions. He had a 56% completion rate. He was terrible.
Yeah, but who's his dad?
Yeah, I get it. But I mean, the 3 AFC quarterbacks were Joe Flacco, Shedeur Sanders, and Burrow.
Right.
Like the Pro Bowl's a joke. Like that just, if that doesn't show it right there, the Pro Bowl is absolutely a joke because, you know, the list of quarterbacks that were better in the AFC was like 14. You know what I mean? It was just trash.
Do you think that's why they moved it to Tuesday night, the Pro Bowl?
They had that thing spread out over the skills challenge and all the other stuff and the NFL awards and stuff. It was spread out over like 5 days, and they're just doing anything to try and drum up viewership in between the week of the end of the playoffs, the championship series, and then the Super Bowl, that extra week off. But if they just went back to the Pro Bowl where people used to hit each other and play games, you know what I mean? And you had all the all-stars there, then, you know, people might actually watch it again.
Right.
It's just, it's a joke now. So, but the Belichick thing, man, I cannot even believe that. Like how many people, like, you know, cause I know like the owner of the Titans and different people like that were interviewed because they hate Bill Belichick. And, you know, they were telling people not to vote for him. And it's ridiculous. He's, you know, got more Super Bowl wins than any other coach in NFL history. He's got more wins than any other coach in NFL history. Like he not being a first ballot Hall of Famer is ridiculous.
Mm.
So anyway, on to Cleveland sports, but I had to throw that out there. The Guardians signed Jose to a 4-year extension worth $175 million. And we were all ecstatic. Like, we love Jose. He took a hometown discount, like a severe hometown discount.
Jose loves us.
The Yankees offered him almost $75 million more over the same term to go play for them. And he turned it down to stay in Cleveland because he said he loves Cleveland. We love Jose. Everybody can say it's a business and whatnot and stuff like that. But when you're talking about $175 million, does somebody really need more? So we love you. Thank you for staying. And I know he feels it every time he comes up to bat, man. If you're ever at a Guardians game, like every single time the guy comes up to bat, everybody starts the Jose chant. It's, it's phenomenal. It's a good feeling. So we're glad he's here. The Class A scandal has grown. Originally, what we thought was 9 games has turned out to be 48 games and over 200 pitches that were bet on that he threw the pitch knowing what the outcome was going to be.
Allegedly.
And that's over a 2-year span. It's not really even allegedly at this point. They have the text messages between the two people, and they have all the bets. Like, he's going to jail for 20 years.
Oh, boy.
It's so bad that Ortiz's lawyer is actually saying that he doesn't want to be associated in the same court case with Class A because
he wants his own.
Yeah, because he's only got like they think 10 pitches or something like that.
I did this less bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's like, it's nowhere on that kind of a scale of, you know. So, I mean, Class A over 2 years, and one of those years was, he won relief pitcher of the year and stuff like that. Like, he had his best career year statistically. But he was out there like broadcasting pitches that we didn't know about. I mean, it's going to get ugly, and it kind of like it tarnishes the game. I mean, I hate to be like that, but it does. I mean, he didn't make any money off of it. It was like the guy that
somebody was like trying to help out.
Yeah, the guy he was trying to help out only made like $400,000 off of this. So it wasn't like it was a ton of money or anything like that, but it's just like it's still integrity, and it's just not there, So. Yeah, I think he's going to jail. I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but like with all the evidence, and I think they're going to go after him, and I think the guy's going to end up in jail, which is kind of sad. So a lot of wasted talent for nothing. I mean, he was on the last year of a 5-year contract where he made $25 million or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, when we went and saw him play, I thought he was great. Like,
yeah, we had no idea he was broadcasting pitches. It's just. And it's wild being a closer too, because you don't even know if you're going to play that night.
Right.
And usually you don't play more than an inning.
That's true.
So the Browns, they hired Todd Monken as their head coach, the former Ravens offensive coordinator. And Jim Schwartz publicly stated that he wanted off the team. And as of today, he is off the team. He has resigned from the Browns. He is no longer their defensive coordinator.
Sad.
It's very depressing considering they had one of the top 3 defenses 2 years in a row. And this next stat proves it. Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year, and Carson Schlesinger won Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Real quick, are your 49ers looking for a new defensive coordinator?
They were until 2 days ago. They hired Raheem Morris from the Atlanta Falcons as their defensive coordinator, which I'm really upset about because I would have. Yeah, we had one of the worst records. San Francisco had one of the worst records against Jim Schwartz. They just didn't beat his teams. And so that would have been great. Everybody was actually clamoring for it. We just needed to wait 3 more days. Or the 49ers needed to wait 3 more days. Not exactly we, but
Matt said I'm on the team now.
So that was the Browns news. So they had a very Brownsy week. They had 2 players win awards, and they got a very shitty coach and lost their really good coach. So I'm not a fan of Todd Monken. Like, the Ravens offense has not been impressive.
Yeah.
And I mean, Shadur is a Lamar style quarterback. And if he couldn't coordinate that offense, I don't know what he thinks he's going to do in Cleveland. So
why do you think Harbaugh got fired?
Harbaugh made some questionable calls.
That had nothing to do with
games and stuff, and
nothing to do with the quarterback.
Oh, I mean, didn't get along with the quarterback. I mean, there was, they said there was bad blood between the two of them for a while, but some of it's just bad play on the offense. I mean, Lamar was not clutch, I don't think, in many games. But, I mean, the guy is an MVP caliber quarterback, so I don't know, but he should have ran the ball. I mean, like when Henry's running the ball for 120 yards in the first half of a game and he comes back in the second half of a game and he gets 4 carries, something's wrong.
Right.
And that's the offensive coordinator who we got in Harbaugh.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. Not super happy with the hire personally, but I guess we'll see because, I'm not clairvoyant, so we'll see. So the Cavs won 5 in a row. Whoop, whoop. Yep. Then they lost to the Suns, and then they came back and beat the Trailblazers, and then they made a trade, a bunch of trades.
Oh, man.
So they gave up DeAndre Hunter, which I understand not super consistent, but he was 14 points coming off the bench. And I thought he was a pretty good defensive player.
He was consistent.
They gave him and a second-round pick to the Sacramento Kings to get Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis. And Ellis is just a defensive pickup. The guy only averages like 5 points a game, but he is one of 2 players that has like 2 blocks and so many steals or something like that every game. So he's a defensive pickup. But their points combined don't even equal Hunter's coming off the bench. So I wasn't really sure about that. It looks like a salary dump to me. It looks like they were getting rid of him because, he had another year on his contract and he was expensive. So that's what it looks like to me. They traded Darius Garland and another second-round pick to get James Harden, which James Harden has great stats throughout the regular season. And then he disappears in the playoffs, and then he bitches about his team in the offseason, and he goes to another team every 2 years, every 3 years, something like that. I mean, he's given up on 4 different teams publicly. There was discontent between him and Kawhi and
Kawhi,
isn't it?
Who?
Kawhi.
Oh, Kawhi.
Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers. Which one of them was going to be the captain? And then, basically they went the other way and they let Harden go. Harden's 36 years old. Garland was 26 years old. Garland had more upside. Their stats are pretty much similar. Garland was averaging 18 points a game for us when he was playing.
Yes, that's the thing.
I understand he's fragile. He's had some toe issues and stuff like that. And, if he could have got a toe implant, maybe we would have kept him. But
right.
So anyway, they gave up that. I'm not super happy. I'm not a huge fan of Harden. I always thought Harden was the epitome of traveling.
Right.
Like watching him play, he always took that extra step back when he would shoot his shot, and like, that always bothered me watching him play. I mean, whatever. He scores points, we'll see what happens, but I just think it's a dumb play. I mean, he's a rental. He's old and he's too expensive to keep.
Well, a lot of people say his defense is like almost non-existent, but if you're 36 and you don't play that much defense, then you're probably still like 26 in certain ways.
Yeah. I mean, but he's also bigger than Garland. So, he's 6'5", so they can put him out there, if he does play defense, to body up on another forward or something instead of always just a shooting guard if they want to run a 2-person set with him and Mitchell or something like that,
Right.
So there is that. I guess we'll see how it plays out. But it's a rental. Again, it's just a very short fix, where Garland had some long-term upside. So we'll see. Then they gave up Ball and the other 2 second-round picks that they had for nothing. They just gave him to...
Yeah, wasn't that all just like contract stuff?
They didn't have a roster spot for him anymore, basically, when they picked up 2 people with the 2 people they got from the Kings.
Right.
Or no, it wasn't the Kings, Sacramento. Yeah.
Yep.
So when they got those 2 people for him, basically they didn't have anything to do with him. So they gave him and two players up or 2 picks up, which I don't understand. So they had 4 second-round picks and they gave all of them up in these trades. So is it win now for the Cavs? So
that's what it sounds like.
Today's rumor is LeBron's leaving the Lakers.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And he's coming back to Cleveland. So you would have
He's
Harden.
going to have to wait until next year.
Well, they're saying that they're going to release him where he would be a free agent, which is tampering. But they're saying that they're going to release him. His time's up with the Lakers and that he could come back on a huge discount to the Cavs. He is averaging 21.3 points per game in the 20-something games that he's played this year. So he would be the second highest scorer on the Cavs.
Right.
Like Mitchell's 28.8 on average, and the closest person to him now is Mobley, who's at 17.
Right.
So he would be a great asset, to come in and play 30 minutes a game. So, I mean, I'm not totally against it. There's always that drama. Are they going to bring Bronny in and then draft, his other kid?
Right.
So I don't know. But they made a lot of moves. I don't know what's for the best. A lot of it's contractual dumps and salary and different things like that, but Harden, like I said, we'll see if it pays off. Great. But he has look it up because I'm not going to sit here and run through all the stats, but he has a horrible playoff history. I mean, he goes games 2 for 12, 1 for 8. You know what I mean? He's only shooting 8 times in a playoff game and he's playing 36 minutes. The guy just disappears in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens there. As far as the NFL, the Bills promoted their offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, to the head coach. So McDermott still hasn't signed anywhere, I don't think.
I haven't seen anything.
And neither is Tomlin. So that's kind of interesting there. No other major news there other than the Pro Bowl bullshit, which nobody watched. The NBA, Detroit's still up by 4.5 games over the Knicks and the Celtics. And in the West, OKC is 4.5 games over the Spurs and Denver. So OKC's kind of hit a little bit of a slump. And the Spurs have kept right up on them, and they've actually gained 2 games since the last time we talked. NCAA men's basketball is pretty much still the same standings as what it was when we talked 2 weeks ago. Arizona's number 1, Michigan's number 2, UConn's 3, Duke is 4. And then following that, there's still 4 more teams coming out of the Big Ten. So you got Illinois, Nebraska, Michigan State, Purdue's right there on 11 or 12. And then, like I said, you got Michigan up at 2 and Illinois at 5. So still a lot of Big Ten representation, which is, like I said, unusual. They're holding up. They're doing pretty good. So go them. In the NHL, Colorado is slumping, man. They're 3-5-2 in their last 10 games. The Wild are now only 5 points back in the West. Tampa Bay and Carolina are tied in the top of the East. And Detroit and Montreal are tied behind them 6 points back. Detroit earlier in the week was only 2 points back, and they've not done well the last couple of games themselves. Going into soccer, our soccer fan, Sean, that decided to come to my house, and the first words out of his mouth were, "You really don't know anything about soccer." And I was like, yeah, I pretty much say that every time I bring up soccer on the podcast. He started talking about Aquafina and Affleck and all these other freaking soccer leagues that are over in Europe. And, it didn't really, I just looked at him. I'm like, I really don't care. And I was like, and unless you can explain the 2 Arsenal thing to me, which he said he doesn't know what I saw, but there's not 2 Arsenal teams unless I was talking about women's. And I'm pretty sure I wasn't. But anyway, so, there are in-season tournaments between all the leagues. And they might play a game and then they go back to their regular season and they come back and they play another game. And it's just a bunch of hoopla and crap like that. I don't really care about. The English Premier League is the big one. That makes the most money. That's about what I got out of the conversation.
Didn't you originally have something here about a Champions League or something?
Yeah, apparently I'm wrong on that too. So
okay.
All right. Ted Lasso steered me wrong on that because that's where I was getting all my soccer information. So damn you, Ted Lasso, because I'm pretty sure I understood what was going on there. And then Sean told me I was wrong. So they should really simplify all this crap and make it bigger. I guess you can't really say bigger.
Maybe we should just fact check Sean.
Well, I will say I was there for this conversation, and he He probably talked about it for a good.
Yeah, I
Hour?
blacked out. Like I just got on my phone. Like I said, like I those aren't the leagues, obviously it's not Aquafina and Affleck, but it's something like that. It's like,
Right.
some weird acronyms and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just, like I said, I don't really care. The only reason we even talk about soccer is because somebody asked us to, and then it turned into I'm going to be punished by my friends for this. So,
But I mean, I feel like that makes sense. You got water and ducks, and it's across the pond. So
hey, look at that.
Alysha Intelligence has just explained all the soccer leagues in one sentence.
That's right. My takeaway was that certain like players on a team can in a season still go and play with another team.
Yeah, so he
And come
briefly
back
ran through
and-
that real quick. So
so
you
it's
can
like-
loan players to other teams mid-season, and they can go play on.
Or he
other-
said there's different events. So even
No,
though they're
that's
part of a
that's the
team.
tournaments thing I was talking about. So yeah,
Oh, that's
so there's in-season tournaments where all these leagues play each other, and then like people from the Premier League and the Champion League or Championship League and stuff like that, all those teams will play each other. And I'm like, okay, so why don't they just play in the same league? So he didn't really have an answer for any of that. He's like, what is, you could have a Cinderella story. I'm like, yeah, that's what, conferences are in basketball. You could just, put everybody together instead of having 5 different leagues, so whatever. It's really complicated. Basically, soccer is played all over the world and they try to come together a little bit, but everybody has their own leagues. That's what I got from it. So, like I said, if you root for your home team, then go team. And other than that, I don't really think it makes
The
a whole lot
rest
of sense.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Not to us. I mean, but not to me, I should say. Not to us. But so that's our soccer update. That's Sportsball, actually.
That's
That
Sportsball.
concludes Sportsball this
Sportsball.
week.
All right. Up next, we have the rip. And you can rip through that
I'm going to rip through
however
this.
quickly you want.
Okay. So Netflix came out with a movie around the holidays. It was called The Rip. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, Sasha Callie, Stephen Yeun, and Kyle Chandler. So these are all big name people. This was a pretty big cast for this movie. I thought it was a decent little action suspense thriller. I mean, it starts off, there's a female cop. She's murdered by 2 guys with shotguns. And before she gets murdered, she's texting somebody and she throws her phone into the water so they can't see it. The next scene, they're right at the police station and like all these different people in her unit are being interrogated by the feds. So they give you a little bit of backstory on each character through the interrogation. And then at the last interrogation, you find out that the guy interrogating Ben Affleck is actually his brother. So his brother is a fed. And they get into a little scuffle and stuff. Then they tell you that like Ben Affleck was sleeping with this woman that got killed, which was his captain, and she promoted somebody else over top of him, which was Matt Damon. So Matt Damon's like the sergeant, and he got promoted over top of Ben Affleck, and they were like, trying to say is there animosity there? And she didn't promote you because she was sleeping with you and that kind of thing. So just to give a little bit of background between, like the 2 characters, but Ben Affleck's like, no, he's cool. Like he's a working dude, this and that and stuff like that. So they're talking in the bathroom and they're like, I wish we could old school solve this case, and we didn't have to go through all the hoopla and stuff like that. And then they go their separate ways. Really quickly, they go on a call. It's called a rip. Basically, they have to go to this house and they're supposed to go there based off of a tip line. They basically trick the person at the house, which is Sasha Callie, into letting them in, and they find $20 million. And then it's like, are they keeping the money? Are they not keeping the money? Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? And it's a lot of back and forth and stuff like that. And, there is one knock on the movie. It's Matt Damon playing Dopey in the movie. Like when he's trying to play Dopey, it doesn't match his character from the beginning of the movie, and it doesn't match his character at the end. So it's like he was super out of character. So it was kind of like you're playing it too much. You know what I mean? But other than that, like there's some good action sequences in there. There's a decent little mystery, which, yeah, I mean, you can kind of figure out most of it. You don't figure out every detail, but you can figure out most of it before the end of the movie. there's a great little car chase scene at the end of the movie. Who the villains are and what their motive was through the whole thing was I thought it was decent.
Yeah.
It's,
I was convinced. Like,
it wasn't a total surprise, but like, at the same time, like how they got to it was a decent little thing. They follow the story through pretty good. And then, at the end of the movie, they basically like talk about, Sasha Callie was an informant and like for the captain. So she comes into play and stuff like that. Which was a twist that I really didn't know. And I didn't know that informants got paid money. Like if they give you information and you make a bust, they get a percentage of that.
it's a pretty decent percentage.
It's
too.
like 25%, which I was like, holy crap, that's like crazy. So that's what they say in the movie anyway. But this is actually the first decent movie that I've seen recently. Like I said, it was action packed. It had
So not better than Dracula. That was your favorite, right?
not better than Dracula.
I'm kidding. I'm
yeah,
kidding.
I mean, but no, I mean, like I'm not going to go through and ruin this one like I have every other movie because this one's actually watchable. Like this one, people should actually like spend the 90 minutes and go watch. It wasn't overly long. It wasn't super complex.
That's what she said.
Would you give it out of 10?
I would say it's probably a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, it's not super unpredictable, but it's a decent little action movie. It had, some plot twists and stuff like that. There was 2 things I could pick apart in the plot that made no sense whatsoever, but it wasn't enough to like stop you from enjoying the movie. They do a decent job of explaining things as they go and keeping the plot moving. They give you background on people and they tell you what people are doing and stuff like that. It's like, so it does advance fairly well. So, all in all, yeah, it's a decent movie to check out. I can see why it didn't go to the theater and it's a Netflix movie. It's better than some of the Netflix movies that I've seen, yeah, it was for the time. I mean, there's nothing else that came out around it recently, like in the theater or, at home to rent that I thought was a whole lot better. So, yeah, I give this one a watch, actually.
And that's available on
Netflix.
All right.
What did you rate Dracula?
Oh, dude, I mean, I will never watch that movie ever again. That's like a 3.
Virginia?
That's worse than the
Dracula or
is
The
that
Rip?
3 out of
Dracula.
10 or 3 out of 5?
10.
Okay.
Yeah. I would watch the Chimp movie again
Really?
before I would watch this.
Dang.
Yeah.
I think Rotten Tomatoes critics had Dracula at like 54%.
That's
Yeah.
funny. I was going to say 5.
And you know what?
What about the Chimp movie?
The Chimp movie, what was that one called?
Primate? So Dracula is going to have a following because it's a vampire movie. Like people will watch anything.
79.
God.
People watch anything with a vampire.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
that's
about-
right on board
what
with
about the Rip?
Rotten Tomatoes on those ones.
About the Rip,
Hmm.
we got 80.
1% better than Primate. I will say it is much more than 1% better than Primate.
I'd agree with that.
Does Rotten Tomatoes, would it judge the old timey
It might. What do
movie
you got?
that you watch with
Out of Africa?
Yeah, Robert Redford.
Dude, that movie's like award winning.
That's
Like-
true.
I just want to know what Rotten Tomatoes says.
62.
62.
And it's yeah, that's not great either.
So better than Dracula.
Yeah, it's still better than Dracula. That Dracula movie is terrible. Like,
Yeah.
Does Rotten Tomatoes also do shows?
Dracula
Serious?
Dead and Loving It
Yeah.
was a better vampire movie than this. Like
90 for Stranger Things.
I don't know. I would assume that's a collective.
Yeah, you can't like ask it for
season?
a specific
First
season.
series. Yeah. Or seasons, I mean.
Season 1, 97. Season 2, 94. Season 3, 89. Thing didn't want to scroll for me. Season 4 was 90. Why are you bad like this? Okay. Nope, you can do it. More technical difficulties.
Good difficulties.
This is
Technical
Good
difficulties.
How am I supposed to operate this website?
Oh.
Season 5 got 83%.
Hey, the worst one of all.
That's, I mean,
I would
that's
agree with
still better than what I was expecting it, but
Yeah. There's a lot of people again
what about-
that will watch
what about
Stranger
Roof
Things
Man?
because it was Stranger.
Roofman.
We didn't review Roofman on here, did we?
No, we didn't.
I don't remember.
No.
We saw it together.
Roofman. 87.
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst.
It was the peanut M&Ms.
Yeah. Roofman was more enjoyable than this Dracula movie. I'm excited. I want to know about Adobe.
Do you?
I do.
Tell us about
Do you
Adobe.
really?
I do. I really do.
Okay. All right.
It
Well,
sounded really genuine.
I'm serious.
I know. I'm
I'm
being
serious.
serious too.
Super serial.
I'm serious.
okay.
Suffer and succotash.
So let me start out by saying that I'm a user of Adobe's products for probably, I had to think back, almost 20 years when I used my first version of Photoshop. I think it was Creative Suite 3, I think, which was like in 2007 or something.
Yeah, I graduated that year.
And then years upon years later, I use more of their stuff, such as Premiere, Audition, After Effects, all sorts of stuff. So I've become accustomed to, making stuff, including this podcast, with all of their tools and software and such. This past week, they had announced that they're discontinuing one of their products. It's called Adobe Animate. So the story with Adobe Animate, do you guys happen to remember Adobe Flash or Flash animations? That would be like on your web browser.
Yes.
Flash
I've definitely
games.
heard of it, not used it.
You could use
Yeah.
it as a player and stuff like that too.
Right. It was always like a plugin that you'd have to install in your browser if you wanted to view certain things. Companies would use Adobe Flash to make their ads. They would use it for certain video things.
You could crop videos and stuff like that.
Right. And so, well, Flash was like the first thing. Well, technically, Adobe didn't even make Flash. They acquired it from another company called Macromedia. But anyway, they acquired it. They made it their own product. And that was like how animation started to become like a really big thing, specifically on the internet for, just anybody to start making stuff. Eventually, they phased out Flash because of like it was becoming an old standard and it had security vulnerabilities. And there was newer stuff that was coming out like HTML5 and all sorts of other video things that were coming into play to replace it, which was totally fine. Along the way, Adobe made this Animate program, which was basically meant to like, hey, if you're an animator, you're used to using our former Flash products, here's this. You're not going to be making Flash animation files anymore. You're going to be making basically just video at this point, because that's what all animation ends up as anyway, basically, is video, which in a more modern format works totally fine. And now they're discontinuing it, but it's kind of icky. So, like, there's only so much more time you have. I want to say it's only a month you can still purchase the product. But after that, you only have, I want to say it's like a year that you can actually like access your files that you might have in your Adobe account until basically the product is like deemed completely discontinued and you can't even use it anymore. So any animator, for example, they just can't even continue like using the old version of the program, basically. Which is starting to become like this trend that a lot of big companies are doing now, where they'll put out a piece of software and then they'll discontinue it, and they will provide no way for the user to like be able to continue using the old product. Like, who cares? Yeah, we're not getting more updates. We're not getting new features. Fine, whatever. I just want to use the program. No, you're not allowed. And that's pissing a lot of people off. I've seen so many rants on YouTube.
Do you use Adobe Animate?
So not Animate specifically. So directly, does it affect me? No. But this isn't the first time they've discontinued one of their products that people like genuinely like using. There's another one that was called Adobe Fireworks, which it was like an image editor, vector-based image editor that eventually got sort of absorbed into Photoshop. Some of it got absorbed into Adobe Illustrator. So that was like an okay transition. But at the time, it was still kind of like, all right, like another great product that we just can't use anymore. Great, thanks.
So did they have to purchase that product individually from the rest of the Adobe products, or do you just buy a license for Adobe?
You can. So that sort of ties into things here. So Adobe has become this company where you can't just purchase a product once and like be okay for a set amount of time. You have to get a subscription now. So yeah, you can either subscribe to just a single application that Adobe has. You can do this with like anything they have. Like if you just want Photoshop, or if you just want Premiere, or if you just want their audio stuff like Adobe Audition, you can do that. Or what more commonly happens for people that do more than one thing or need more than one application, you get their subscription for all their apps, which
at somewhat of a discount.
Yeah, it's pretty cost effective compared to getting however many applications they have now, to just get that subscription that has everything. But it's still kind of like, it still feels slimy in terms of like business practices, where like if you're going to discontinue a product, like don't just completely shut it down so people can't use it at all anymore.
So like you said, when one of them got rolled out into two different things, is that what the thing is here? Is like within next year there's something coming out to replace Animate?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, okay.
What do you think their reason for discontinuing it is?
Because AI is doing everything, so why do we have this product?
That's pretty shitty.
So
yeah,
do you think
AI
it's like
uses so much water?
Yes, it does.
So do you think that they're not making enough on it? And that's why, like, because people are using AI instead?
That could be.
It's like a money thing?
So you have to take into perspective too. It's like there's plenty of other pieces of software out there that are like specifically made for animators to make animations.
Clip art studios.
There's the big famous like professionally one that's used out there, I think, is called Toon Boom. Like I think that's the one that like the people that make Bob's Burgers, that's what they use. They used to be sort of like the cool company where you buy the piece of software and you have a perpetual license to use it however you want. And then they kind of turned into an Adobe where now you have a subscription. You got to pay that monthly subscription or whatever because they got so big, and now they're just trying to make money, basically.
It seems like everybody does that. Like, I mean, like I said, I got Clip Art Studio for Claire. So
Right.
she's got her drawing tablet and stuff like that. And that was what was recommended to me that was user friendly for her to learn to do stuff.
right.
And it's $129 a year.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
Yeah.
like once you have like version 3 or whatever I got last year, when they roll out version 4, there's new things that they add to it, of course, you know, and you're supposed to have that. You can buy it yearly, you can buy it monthly, you can buy a perpetual one, you know, or you can buy the actual program itself with no support.
Right.
And it's like all these different ways of doing it, you know what I mean? And they're all super expensive. But like the one that where you buy it and you have zero support on the program and stuff like that, they basically tell you like, you know, you're not going to be able to use 80% of the features after the first year.
Right.
Yeah. And then, you know, how much is it getting used? But that's a different conversation.
Well, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so it seems like everything has gone that way. Like, I mean, I've never had Adobe products because I just didn't use it enough to pay for anything. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like at work, it drives me nuts because we do so many things with PDFs and stuff like that. And every document that we scan, you know, automatically shows up in our computer as a PDF. And I can't alter any of these documents. You know what I
Right.
mean? I can't do anything with them because I don't have any kind of editing program or anything for it. And they won't buy the license for it.
Right.
And it's just like, is it really that expensive? And yeah, it is. It's that expensive because if you want to put it on one computer, you know, you have to buy the license for each individual
Yep.
computer and everything like that. So
Yeah.
it's a whole thing. But yeah, Adobe is not to the layman's person, you know, like somebody, a casual user. It's not great,
No, it's not.
you know, and for them to give you a product that you paid for all this time and then just say it's, you know, you've used this program for so long and we're taking it away you're right. It is grimy. That's a grimy thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and you can own the product but you're not going to be able to use it. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
even worse. You know what I mean? Like, so
Right.
yeah, this is definitely a shady little stunt.
And this isn't like the only, you know, area in the business world of things where this happens. The thing that I know for sure where this occurs is like in the gaming world. I know there's movements out there. I think the one is literally called Stop Killing Games, where these game companies, they'll put out a game that requires them to, you know, run some hosting of servers so like people can play their game online, for example. And then, you know, however many years into the lifespan of that game after they've put out, you know, whatever updates or features or whatever it may be. And then it's just like, yep, end of service this date. And then after this date, you can't play our game.
Yeah. So we ran into that with something a little less severe, but I bought laser tag equipment. Like laser tag guns and stuff like that. And it was all app based. Like your phone mounted to the gun and it would give you a location and, you know, tell you where people were at when they actually fired their weapon. It would like show up on the radar on your screen on your phone.
Yep. Yeah.
They just stopped supporting it. Well, the guns don't work without the app.
Right.
Like there's nothing you can do with them. So I've got like hundreds of dollars in laser tag shit and they just don't support the app,
So
and
you
none
just
of the
gotta
third-party apps would work.
Pretend and just be bang, bang.
It made
bang.
cool noises. You know what I mean? Like it actually like vibrated like a gun when you pulled the trigger.
It was actually really
It was
fun.
called recoil, and
Yeah.
the gun actually had a recoil to it when you shot it. And
It was really fun. Like,
it could have been.
Yeah.
I mean, I had grenades. I had all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? I spent all this money on this stuff, and they were just like one day it was like it no longer works. And I was just like, what do you mean? It
well,
no
we
longer
did get to
works?
play it, didn't we? Or did we?
No.
What did we? I thought we did something.
No, we tried, but none of the third-party apps would work.
Mm.
So, yeah, it sucked because I mean, you could go out in the woods and you could take this like little thing and it Bluetooth to your phone and it would set up like a command center, and then it would set up a radar in an area, and you could go in this giant area and like play each other, and it was all based off of this little separate unit that you brought. I mean, it was ridiculous on how many AA batteries it took to do all this.
Right,
But
right.
like, it was fun. It was a fun thing. And it's just like no support. It's gone.
Yeah.
So I have just all this shit. I'm just like, throw it away. I mean, there's literally nothing you could do with it.
Yeah.
So I had all these guns and stuff like that and just threw them all away. It was like, so same thing, you know, if somebody just decides one day that you're no longer able to do this, we're not going to support it. It's like, oh man, I guess that's the way technology is going.
Yeah.
But.
I had, I work at the Y, and the music I use was on this certain app, and it's very specific to the type of exercise like program that we do. And when I got my new phone, I went to download the app so I could like transfer everything over, and it doesn't exist anymore. And I was like, well, what am I going to do now? Like, so I literally take my old phone in because it's saved to the phone.
Oh, okay.
But I can't download any new music or anything like that. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure these people are going to get sick of this music after a little while. Like, I only have like maybe 5 or 6 of these tracks, so they get used to hearing the same thing, which kind of stinks. But yeah, I mean, the reality is that these are businesses, and if it's not serving them, they're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like,
continue.
Yeah, they're not gonna continue. And honestly,
on
one hand, like, you see the business side of it where it doesn't make sense for them, obviously, you know, or if the business closes down or whatever it is. I mean, Adobe's a little bit different, but it's a business and they're trying to make money. So if they're not, I'm assuming that.
Like you said, though, with the games and stuff like that, the money that you could have wrapped up in DLCs and skins and different things like that in these games, and they're just like, we're not going to support it anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's like, holy crap, you know? I mean.
Well, we've talked even about like your Prime Video. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Where you have all of those videos stored. And you were saying like,
yeah,
it doesn't look like it's going anywhere, but
You purchased a license to view that video or movie, but you don't own that.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't own the
is that what you were going to say?
Well, I don't own the physical media. So if something happens with Prime, it's like there went my video library.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And your life savings.
Well, it's not that bad.
I'm kidding.
Like if you would have went through my DVD collection, then we were talking about like my life savings, because I used to have like 7,000 DVDs, like no shit, like 7,000 legit DVDs. Now I try not to buy anything. Like every once in a while, digital. I try not to buy anything digital. Yeah, because I'm like, I'm gonna know this is like, you know, the next thing that I'm gonna get screwed on.
Think about all those ringtones that we purchased back
Oh
in the
my
2000s.
That's a good throwback.
Yeah,
it's a good comparison too.
When you page me this musical play, because I paid $1.99 for that freaking 10-15 second clip of a song. You know, it's like,
I guess that's why I love Instagram, because you could play that little clip of music. I guess that's equivalent to the 2000s on a flip phone or an early phone.
Until Instagram decides that you can't anymore.
I'm so fucked, dude. That's like my little Dear Diary in pictures for
I don't
myself.
even know how people do that.
What?
I don't even know how to upload the music in it. But my pictures aren't as good either. I don't have the photo editing software. That
you use Adobe Photoshop?
I don't use Photoshop.
Yeah, I do.
For her photos?
No.
I'm the filter that she always uses.
She's just got that button on there. It says enhance.
Enhance. Yeah.
Enhance. But no, that sucks, man. Like,
so the bright side of this is, well, there's other companies out there that are starting to take advantage of like the behavior that Adobe's kind of put on over the last few years with like the whole subscription thing, things like this where they're discontinuing products. The free alternatives that are out there, or maybe not 100% free, but just like the much more cost-effective ones, specifically talking about like video editing or audio editing. There's a product out there. It's called DaVinci Resolve. And 90% of the free version is like on par with like Adobe Premiere, Apple's Final Cut Pro, and you know whatever else you might happen to use. And like their paid version, which has like a bunch of super awesome stuff that like if you're really super serious or on the professional end of things, you can pay like around $300 one-time purchase, lifetime updates, and you're set.
Yeah, as long as they're still.
Well, right. I'll tell you what, though, a lot of those companies, though, they get a good reputation because that's their policy, that's their business product, and people like actually form a community around that and actually promote their product and say like, these are good people.
Yeah.
So it's not like the other example I have of that. Have you ever heard of Fruity Loops or
Yeah.
FL Studio?
Mhm.
You heard of that? I have a copy of FL Studio that I begged and begged and begged to get for one Christmas. But it's their whole model is like there's different tiers of their software, but like you purchase it once and you get lifetime updates. And I still have it installed on my computer today, even though my license is like 10 years old. I'm still getting the latest stuff. I haven't dropped a dime ever since I got it.
That's good.
You've been eating Fruity Loops since you were a wee lad?
Yes, that long.
I just see. I'm the opposite. Like, so it's like the Betamax versus VHS. Like, you know, people went all in on Betamax and lost their ass. You know what I mean? 'Cause,
Right.
you know, when the HD chip first came out, oh my gosh, I want to say
HD
2015.
chip?
Yeah, when they first started doing 1080p on TVs.
Oh, okay.
There was two different versions that came out. There was two different TVs that came out with a high resolution, like the 4K chip in their TV. Samsung actually in 2015 had the opposite chip from the HD, the UHD, what we know as UHD today, the 4K chip. They had the opposite. And I was a huge Samsung person, and, you know, they bought this TV, you know, at the same time the Xbox One came out, and it was, you know, that high resolution and everything like that. Well, immediately after I bought the TV, they stopped supporting it. So I like when I turn it on and I turn on like UHD on like Netflix or Amazon Prime or something like that, it would come up on the TV unable to support.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, fuck, you know, because that's what this is to me. You know, like if you buy something in a program, you know, and you say, I'm going to, you know, give them the $300 one time,
Right.
you know, in 2 years, that's the company that tanks, you know?
Yeah,
So
I can understand that. That to me is more like a standards type of war that.
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess what my point is like Adobe's not going anywhere.
Not well.
So,
If they keep this up,
well, they might lose certain parts of it, but as a company as a whole, they're not going anywhere.
I get what
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like they've got that brand recognition, they've got that, you know, market swing, that power,
right.
you know, so that's what sucks.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because there might be 10 companies out there that have just as good a software that are small and stuff like that. That are never going to get the, you know, the notoriety
business
to be able to actually come out and do it. And
DaVinci Resolve. There's Hollywood movies being edited in their software.
that's good. No, I mean,
so it's speaking on that specifically.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm saying if there was something out there and it was called, you know, Da Vinci's Redemption, that's the one I would have bought.
Right.
I mean, just as an example, I'm saying like, you know, I have a bad habit of picking the loser. So
Yeah. Yeah. So all of this to say, my biggest impasse that I'm encountering is like, yeah, I don't like this whole thing that Adobe is doing. Yes, there's alternatives out there. But I've been using this stuff for like a long time, and that's what I'm like, I got to relearn a piece of hardware or piece of software, and maybe hopefully it can replace everything that I can do on all these other applications. But if it can't, what do I do? Do I just keep paying Adobe? And that's my dilemma, I guess, right now is how do I figure this out? It's a weird, rough spot. But this whole news with Adobe Animate getting discontinued, it's just like, yeah, I'm not buying into this. Or at least I really don't want to anymore. So that was what I was bringing to the table tonight here.
It's the water shortage.
It's the water shortage.
That's why they're shutting it down. It's the water shortage.
Oh.
They can't cool their servers.
Well, they're buying into all the other AI stuff, so they can't use that excuse. That's all I got to say.
They got to put the water somewhere else.
Right, right. But
Up their ass.
to get things moving forward, let's do our second trivia question. Speaking of Adobe, what was their first product? What was Adobe's first product, that of which you probably can't use anymore? That was actually a pretty good hint. Whoops.
Not really. We have no idea.
Okay. Well, we're going to figure that out after the second make-believe break. This episode of Mamalukes is brought to you by Wave Dash Radio. If you're into video game or anime music, you should get tuned in. Whether you prefer the classics of Mario and Sonic, modern tracks of Halo or Kingdom Hearts, or the soundtracks of Full Metal Alchemist, Attack on Titan, and My Hero Academia, we've got a station for you. Featuring 4 separate stations, each with a curated playlist, you're sure to find something to jam out to. And the best part? You can listen for free. No strings attached, no asterisks. Just visit wave-radio.com to get started. That's WAVEDASH radio.com. Welcome back. It's time for some trivia.
All right. Our first trivia question is, what street do Holmes and Watson live on? All right, Alysha, you're up first.
All
I'm
right.
nervous.
Baker Street, London, United Kingdom.
All right.
That's correct.
You just wanted the street, right?
Just the street, yes. Hey, where's my sound?
Oh, okay. Congrats.
Nice
Thanks.
job.
Can I have an eraser?
Sure.
All right, Lucas.
Should be handing that to me because I'm not right.
I'm not.
All right, let's see what you got.
I got Sleuth Boulevard.
Ooh, Sleuth Boulevard. And
Okay.
and Matt, how about you?
I put Bleecker Street.
Bleecker?
Bleecker.
Bleecker.
Also, and are you a Holmes and Watson fan?
Wait, that's why I watched all the Enola Holmes as well.
Very nice.
All right. Second trivia question. What was Adobe's first product? Alysha, what do you got?
Why do I get to go first?
Because you were right.
Because you're my favorite.
Aww.
I was thinking Illustrate, but I seen that Illustrate wasn't one. Is it Illustrator?
Illustrator is the current product, or one of their current products.
So then I picked script and fonts. I don't know shit about Adobe.
I'm going to give you a...
Half. I don't know what that
one
means.
of those. I don't know. You'll find out later why, but I want to hear the other answers first. What do you got, Virginia?
Well, I may have read into this a little bit too much because you were like, well, you're not really able to use this product or
She
whatever.
spelled out Adobe.
So I just said, because your topic is literally saying that it's not going to continue Adobe Animate, I'm going to guess Adobe Animate.
Sorry, no.
Okay. I had another one, so I'll see if I was like, I originally thought something else. And then when you gave that clue, I was like, okay, maybe this is too obvious. So I'm curious if I'm right, but we'll see.
Matt's probably right.
No, I have no idea. Actually, I thought it was Acrobat, but then he was like, it's no longer going to be serviced. And
no.
I'm like, oh, well, okay. I have no idea. Like I ever used any of these programs or not. So when you said it was discontinued and you gave it away, I'm like, is it Flash? Because you said Flash. So
No.
I did think about that too, because you had said it at the beginning.
No. Only because it wasn't their product originally.
yeah, I know you said that.
But yeah.
Yeah.
No. Adobe's own first product. It was called PostScript, which
No idea.
nobody knows, apparently. It was a groundbreaking page description language released in 1984. So way before we had Flash, way before Acrobat, way before we knew what a PDF was.
That's DOS based.
Yes, probably so. Developed by founders John Warnock and Charles Geschke. I'm going to go with that one. This software revolutionized printing by allowing computer files to print exactly as they appeared on screen, which became a foundational technology for desktop publishing. PostScript. Yeah, Adobe's been around, and obviously that's where they started. I think they were like more so like, yeah, they started with text, maybe not so much like graphic stuff, but text. And then obviously that evolved into everything that they are today. But
I just figured like fonts because you started writing. And then I thought about like a script because you're writing something. And then I thought about Illustrate because you're illustrating something that you wrote.
They really seem
And then
like they
Animate,
have a lot of products.
Photoshop, Flash.
I can give you a list.
That's okay. That's a long list.
That's
That's a long list.
Okay.
Anyway, that's where my thought process came
Yeah,
from.
I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what Adobe did. I'm not a software person.
Adobe does.
Adobe did. Adobe don't. Adobe don't animate.
No more.
No more.
But Adobe Flash.
But Adobe...
Adobe don't flash no more either.
It's still auditions. It's still premieres. It's still
Acrobats.
acrobats.
But it don't flash anymore?
And Photoshop.
It's still photoshops.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like, dude, that's definitely DOS based script.
Yeah, 1984.
Yeah, because I mean, that's when you're talking about printing virtually what's on the screen. From what I remember, you could set templates up that you could scroll through manually, not even with like your arrow buttons, but you actually had to hit space to go through each one of the character lines, and then you could type information in. Because we used to have like 3-part paper printers, those gigantic printers, you know, that the thing would sit there and scroll back and forth on, and that was all based off of a DOS-based program. That's how we would write our orders in the system.
Right.
Why don't you say back in my day?
What did I say? Back in the day?
No, I'm just saying, why don't you ever say back in my day?
I don't know.
I'm just curious.
He's not trying to claim that he's old or something.
I am old,
but he's...
But back
So
in my
I
day,
lived through the generations. You got to realize I lived through the generations of not having a computer, not having any of that stuff, into now. So like I'm in that weird gray area, you know, like we grew up through all of this stuff, but like I was also out of high school, you know, by the time that the internet was coming out.
Before
you know what I mean? Like
Before you've seen a floppy disk.
No, I mean I saw that in elementary school, the floppy disk, but you know, we really are a weird generation. You know what I mean? So it's like you grew up with this stuff, you know, on a computer that was sitting in your house all the time, and all these different softwares.
Yeah, you
and
young
stuff like
whippersnappers.
I was on the computer at 3, so yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like we didn't have a home computer until I was 21.
I was like 12. Well, I was probably like 10 or 11 actually.
No, I'm sorry. We had a computer, but it was literally an IBM DOS-based computer that we didn't have we didn't have software. You know, we didn't have games or anything like that. My mom would use it to literally type and then print a document, or, you know, like we had a couple of things to teach my sister how to do math.
Yep.
That was the extent of our computer usage in our house, was when we needed to type a paper, we used it as a typewriter.
I'm trying to think how old I was when we had our first computer. It must have been like maybe 7 or 8.
I was using Windows 95.
And I remember it was like the animal game where it was like...
When you were 3, you were using Windows 95?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I was 15 and not using Windows 95. So I was like...
The animal game?
Yeah, you had like a bear or whatever it was, and then it would eat certain things, and then you were a different animal, and you had to watch out for the prey and like try to eat what you can and stuff like that. It was interesting. And that was where my love of Minesweeper developed.
I was going to say Minesweeper is what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We had the Oregon Trail on floppy disk. Like it almost took our entire...
That was in grade school, I remember.
It took almost our entire break to load the game.
I am
and then we would get to play like maybe 1 or 2 rounds, and everybody would fight for the one computer in the school to be able to do it.
I am AOL free trial old. Remember those?
Yeah, I had AOL.
Everybody had those.
Yeah. I still have an AOL email address.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Did you all do MySpace?
Yeah, I had MySpace.
Yeah. I still miss AOL Instant Messenger.
AIM.
Yep. Back in my day.
Prehistoric texting.
We sent instant messages to each other.
ASL.
Oh, wait, we still do that.
But also,
Crap.
do you remember when you had to type out each like number to get to the letter?
You're talking about
QWERTY.
T9?
Yeah, sure.
T9 texting?
Yeah.
Where you had to press the button multiple times to get to whichever
Yeah.
letter? Yeah, T9.
I just remember I worked at a job that shall not be named, and there was somebody that worked there too, and you weren't allowed to have your phones and you weren't allowed to text.
Right.
It was still that, like, where he had the keys memorized
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So he would just be like texting like this.
I had
I'd
friends
be like,
that could do that. Yeah.
seriously?
Yeah. I delivered pizza on a road map.
Maps. What are those?
Yeah. Literally. We had a road
Isn't
map.
that like it's like when you go on Google and you
Is that
say
like
Google Maps, right?
No, it's not like that at all.
We had maps in the glove box growing up.
Somebody said something.
Oh, no. Well, this is not 100% a technical. Okay, it went away. Yeah. It was just Google. Well, you know what? It was Chrome that crashed over here earlier. So thanks, Google. Thanks for
Boxing it up.
Yeah. We're currently at 4 hours and 10 minutes. Do you guys want to call it a day?
Oh yeah, we don't have
Absolutely.
anything for the bottom anyway. We don't
Call it a
have-
day. You mean like a night?
Call it a
Day, night.
It's tomorrow already.
Yeah.
So long. Good night.
So, how do we usually outro this podcast? I forget. Did I write an outro? Oh no.
Yeah. Subscribe,
buy our merch, our clothes,
They're comfy.
store.mamalukes.net.
Send us feedback.
Send us feedback. Send us Mamalukes of the week stories of people doing really stupid things or whatever tickles your fancy of just idiots being idiots, and so we can talk about them.
Oh, and very quickly, we did have one person comment about the 3D printed stuff that we did. Currently, we are working on the DL-44 gun from Star Wars.
Han Solo's blaster.
And we'll let you know how that turns out. So that's the first thing we've really had time to do. It's been a busy 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe we'll show the time-lapse videos of what we got going on in the 3D printer on the way on the other side of the room right now.
So thank you for your comments. We are paying attention.
Yes,
So.
we are printing. And that should be all.
Good night.
We will see you next time. I'm going to edit the podcast now for 11 billion hours tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye.
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 See you later.
That was painful. That was painful.
You're telling me.